Fantastic.
Live. Yes, start webinar. Good luck to all. Enjoy.
So Mary,
do you want to start, Mary?
Mary?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. We can start. We are already.
Okay, I thought you wanted to start, make the introduction.
Okay, with a pleasure. Dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm very, very glad to see you all today in such a brilliant event. I'm Maria Milejka, Chief Partnership Officer of Unicorn.Events. And on behalf of our company, I would like to express, first of all, our gratitude for today's, our partners, organizers, wonderful Irene, Georg, Sarah. Thank you for your great work, for your idea. Well, thank you to all of your team members for such great work that you have done to all of us. This event brings us really inspiration and belief in our future, that we will enhance all together, working together and making great impacts. And we are proud to have such partners in our startup network. This is a platform, this is a like sophisticated ecosystem for both investors and startups, and we make really great deals. And we make it possible for startups to grow within our ecosystem, and for investors, we give the opportunity to find really great startups to invest in. And as our statistic shows, our winners of our events, which we had already more than 200, they have raised more than 320 million US. And I wish good luck for today's participants, and I wish to stay tuned, stay safe to everyone today. The winner of today's Unicorn.Pitches will represent Germany on our next stage event, Unicorn Battle, which would be truly global and will take place on February 3rd. So please, everyone, mark this date in your calendar, and this event will truly be great too. And all of you are welcome to our World Finals on March 3rd, where startups from different spheres will pitch for the attention of top world VCs. Thank you. Good luck to all.
Thank you very much, Mary, and thank you very much, team of Startup Network. So welcome also from our side, from side of Irene and myself. So before we start going into what we are looking for, these amazing pitches, an amazing panel session later on, and also an amazing moderation by our team from Tech Well Told. Let's take a look at why we are actually coming together. Because why invest for impact? Why did we choose this title? Why did we choose this topic? And why did we choose also this hashtag, which hopefully will go worldwide and international in the next couple of months and years? So the status quo of a lot of impact startups is that we can still feel there's less investments in impact startups than in other industries and branches. We still have a lot of less gender diversity in founding teams and also in the investment teams in several impact startups. And we feel that there's also some kind of less public proof, less visibility for impact startups. At the same time, we can feel that we all, or most of us, are aware that impact, however we define it, right? We would actually come to this in a later stage, is getting more and more attention still in comparison to other startup topics. We want to push the proof for impact startups. We have a lot of impact founders here in our session. We will have a lot of different startups pitching. And when we talk to these founders, we often hear also one part, which is also proven by one study, that impact founders very often feel a risk of this, let's call it self-exploitation trap. So meaning we are driven by some very intrinsic motivation to do something for the world, change the world to a better place. And then sometimes we might get lost in this, all of these opportunities and things we can do. And this is also where we want to raise some awareness today with our event. So what is our mission based on this status quo, and what we can see out there is, first of all, if you take a look at the right, we want to join forces today. So Mary already showed you that we join forces from brandpreneurs, from Irene and Startup Network, and GNL Ventures from myself. But everyone here in this room is part of these forces, right? We have a lot of amazing people with a lot of amazing networks and impact. And this is why we create this event. So we want to increase reach and visibility for the startups and the whole industry of impact. We want to show a lot of role models, because we have, again, amazing startups, also amazing speakers later, and they are already some kind of role models. They have proven how successful and how impactful you can be with your ideas or your startups. And also, we want to encourage succeeding generations to pave the impact way, so to further put impact on the map and on the level of attention. Therefore, we have what we bring in here is a very nice and strong value proposition, especially with this event, Unicorn Cup, based in the ecosphere of Startup Network. We have a global and strong network. We discuss and work on socially relevant topics, and this is how we actually want to foster impact for the future. And if we talk about impact, and if we talk about other aspects like maybe even sustainability and responsibility, we will also talk about the SDGs. So SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. I guess that all of us are aware of this, or most of us at least, and if not, so now we are bringing this again in the center of attention. So on a personal note, I have been lucky enough 5-6 years ago to actually work very close with the United Nations Global Compact on these goals and on this event when it has been raised. And I remember very well that 5-6 years ago, especially the business world has been very let's say, surprised about so many different goals, right? Because 17 SDGs, they include a lot of sub goals. So in total, we have more than 140 goals. And even though we are all aware that we might want to change for better impact, a lot of companies thought, okay, but where do we start, right? Where can we start? How can we start? And now I would say 5-6 years later, we came a long way, and we had a lot of very good practice examples, a lot of good business cases on this. And we know that also today, some of the startups will even refer to the SDGs. So this is our commitment to the SDGs. And yeah, a lot of different industries today will also highlight their specific SDG topic. We have been talking about networks and partners and how strong our forces are. So you can see there are a lot of circles on this slide, right? We have more than 40 partners for this event, but also for the previous event. So it would be a little bit too much, I guess, if I would introduce all of them to you guys. But you can see, I guess we have a lot of very relevant, a lot of famous and also impactful partners on our side, be it venture companies, be it also social impact lab, be it other platforms. We are all in this together, and we all join forces in order to bring impact and invest for impact on the map. We are also very delighted to have the team from Tech Well Told today at our stage. So Tech Well Told, I know that you have a very busy schedule and that you took the time here to later moderate our event. And I will hand over to you guys to introduce yourself.
Yes, thanks, Georg. We're also delighted to join actively this event, this pitch contest, and yeah, pitches. These are the masterpieces of communication, especially in terms of innovation. According to studies, communication is the main aspect why innovations fail, especially when they're based on technology.
Well, technology will shape our future, everything is becoming faster, more complex, more incomprehensible for normal people. Normal people, not like my 90-year-old grandma, but normal people like you and me. Thus, the most helpful technologies will not be adopted or brought to the masses because there is a lack of understanding and trust. So if you don't understand things, you have a hard time trusting them, right? That's where Tech Well Told comes in. We do what we are called, we tell technology well. We are interpreters using the right words, images, communication strategies to humanize technology and to make even nerd topics more understandable in a humorous way.
Yeah, and we believe that only those who can position themselves with exceptionally good communication will win the most valuable commodity in the digital and analog world, so trust and understanding. And our goal is to get people excited about technology and to ensure that no one is left behind.
Yeah, so we hand back to Georg and we're looking forward to all those pitches. Good luck from our side.
Thank you very much, and talk to you later and listen to you guys later. Yeah, we not only have amazing moderators, we also have hopefully very good organizers and hosts, and therefore I would really like to highlight and to point out all the efforts, and already now, right now at the beginning, right? And the efforts from Irene for really putting this here on the table. And Irene, you know, we have met, I'm not sure actually exactly when, but we have been in so many different events already together, be it as a mentor, as a jury, and now this time. So thank you very much for, first of all, inviting me as a strategic partner for this event. And it was a pleasure already now working and organizing this event with you. And you can see everyone who doesn't, I know, I guess everyone knows Irene, right? In this session here. And for those of you, even though you don't know her, I'm not sure if there's any stage out there where you're not on. So whenever we talk, right, it's like, okay, I'm at this event, I'm at this event. So it's amazing to see how much motivation and engagement you bring into this world for several topics, be it with like the last event of 25 to 25, the female pitch, and now this time this event. So welcome and thanks also for having me, Irene.
Thank you. Now it's your turn. I give it all back to you, right? No, it's been my pleasure working with you. Without you, I don't know how it would have handled it. We've been working on this topic like 3 months, been very, very busy, engaged, and still had lots of fun, right? And we'll definitely, we'll keep on going. For every one of you who doesn't know Georg, he's a serial entrepreneur. I guess he has founded 6 different companies, and he's still nowadays a sparring partner for many different startups. He's very motivated, very passionate. I think our passion for startups in total is the one thing that unites us, right? And so you were like my first person to go to start this event. So I'm very, very happy to have you here on board, and let's have a very great event. Enjoy this time.
Thank you.
Well, to begin with, I would like to do a little Mentimeter survey with all of you. So you have here the code. You can go to www.menti.com and enter the code, or you just take out your mobile phone and enter the QR code. So our question is here, mission, #invest for impact. What does impact mean to you? We'll give you a couple of seconds. As I can see, the first ones are already started to enter some terms and words. And I have to go back here to Oliver Kuschel. We've been debating several times, right? What is impact? How do you measure it? But this will be your turn during the panel discussion to find out, to discover it. Fantastic. Okay. A few of you are still busy writing down some terms and expressions. And for everyone who has a question right now, please revert back to Mary. Since I'm sharing the presentation right now, I can't leave it for now. So great. I guess most of you should be done now. And I guess you're very curious to know the results. However, I will reveal that results at the end of the sessions. So let us move on. We have a statement from Thomas Sattelberger, who is our patron for today. He truly supports the mission. But before I tell you too much, just watch and listen to the video yourself. So I'll stop my screen sharing and show you the video.
Now I have to ask a typical question for the last 2.5 years. So can everyone see the video? Yeah.
Yay.
Perfect. So I will push the button.
Dear entrepreneurial friends, dear Invest for Social Impactors, I have been promoting social entrepreneurship since years because I know, as many of you, that the big challenges for the planet and for the society are not being solved by technology alone. It's very often a cross-sectoral approach, and sometimes technology is even having a minor role, but even more important, it is about talent. In creating social impact, there is so much undiscovered, hidden, not liberated talent, which needs that it's being liberated, nurtured, grown, and supported. To be crystal clear, a pure techie culture very often is macho and solely exit-driven. Social impact is sustainable, beyond money, for the good, and very often female-driven. Nevertheless, when it comes to investing, only 5% of female founders get more than 1 million compared to 30% of their male counterparts. And we know empirically that female-led businesses are much more sustainable, much more successful, much more long-lasting than their male counterparts. We need to tackle and address those issues. And your initiative is an important cornerstone to that. Recently, in the coalition agreement for the new German government, we clear-cut addressed social impact founding and investing, but also female foundership. We promised a national strategy for common good enterprises and social innovation, and we will provide access to assets from orphans' accounts as seed capital for social impact enterprises. And we will open up innovation funding of the federal government for social and ecological innovation. And we also promised to improve access to public procurement. And we will create a scholarship initiative for female founders, for female entrepreneurs, and an initiative to better the number of female entrepreneurs sitting in investment committees. But those political promises, there is always the key issue, walk the talk. And even by being walked, they are only frameworks, creating liberation options, but not yet liberation realities. Ultimately, it is the will, the competence, and the aspiration of the founders, men and women. I'm very happy to have the patronage for the social impact pitch. It is part of my support for the good cause. All the best for you.
Thank you very much, right?
So I really love his energy and his passion for this topic, right? I will again share my screen with you. So for every one of you who doesn't know Thomas Sattelberger, he's member of the German Parliament and used to be in the board for human resources of the German Telecom and Continental. Thank you again, Mr. Sattelberger. He couldn't be here with us. That's why he shared the video statement with us. So now let's come to the main part of this event. Here's our agenda. So we started with the registration, we introduced ourselves, and now I will move forward to the jury introduction. And then we will have our first startup pitch session and one special startup guest, which is Stiftung Wirkungsanteil. They will not be part of the evaluation process. However, we feel that it's important to give them a platform today. So during each pitch session, every startup will have 3 minutes for their pitch and another 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how many questions arise from the jury members, where they will have the opportunity to answer all their questions. Thereafter, we will move forward to the panel discussion with lovely speakers and a little Q&A session moderated by our wonderful Sarah, Yvonne Elsa. And then we will finally have our second startup pitch session and finally announce the winners of today. We'll have 3 in total. So as promised, let's start with the jury members. As you can see, we have a lot of them here. And some that you see here on this picture have already been there, like Christine Terdebrag-Forstinger, Gary Fowler, Alexander Zaworka is always there because he is the CEO and founder of Startup Network. Then we have Anna Dektorova, she was here also. Sheila, then we have, for example, Julia Kissick, her first time, but she's so excited and I'm happy to have her on board. Then Connie Hurl, and it's fantastic. Last time during the female founder pitch, her sister was here. So they switched the seats, but still I'm so happy that your family sticks to the startup network events and unicorn pitches. Lovely to have you here. So everyone who's here, feel free to briefly introduce yourself if you want to. And maybe Alexander, you want to do the starting point?
Thank you very much, Ren. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Yes, I'm Alexander and I'm CEO and founder of Network VC and Startup Network. In our ecosystem, we have really several products. One of them is Unicorn.Events, and we organize our events all over the world. And today it's in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. And our syndicate fund usually invests from 100 to $1 million US. We are industry agnostic, we are geographically agnostic, but we prefer to invest in round A, sometimes late seed, or round B stages. Thank you very much, Ren.
Thank you. So anyone else who wants to introduce himself or herself?
I can do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Gary Fowler. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. Great to see you. Great to see some friends and smiling faces. I've done 17 companies. I've been involved in 2 unicorns. I was on the original management team at Click Software, which was sold to Salesforce for $1.35 billion, and also Eva.ai. Love AI and quantum computing. I've written 167 articles in the last 2 years. And we love investing. We love seed level, all the way up to doing syndicates where needed. We love AI. We love making a dent in the universe. So we support female entrepreneurs for all over the world. We just came back from a trip to Africa, where we went to South Africa. We went all over the continent, really looking for those companies that can make a dent. We believe that with all the challenges in front of us, we need to work together and we need to make a difference. I just spoke at the UN a few weeks ago about technology as a tool for peace, and I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks for being here, Gary. Maybe you can tell the audience that, yeah, you invested in one of our startups from the female founder pitch, and they have entered your accelerator program at the Silicon Valley.
Well, I have invested in a number of them, so I don't know which one. So I have, you know, we're active because we want to help. We use Silicon Valley as a port to the rest of the world. And there's so many opportunities out there that are untapped, especially with the female entrepreneurs. And so we're working with disserviced people that normally wouldn't get a chance, but those are some of the greatest opportunities. Companies like Patricia, which is a $500 million a Nigerian company, companies all over, right? It doesn't have to be just in the world. I mean, we have companies from Virginia, for instance, and a Stanford MBA. She's a female founder from that went to Stanford, who's located in Silicon Valley but couldn't have a voice. So yeah, they're all over. So I don't know which one. I have 76 investments.
Wow.
I don't know. I support female entrepreneurs because it's you know, and I want to hear from you too. So female entrepreneurs out there, you know, please contact us because we want to help you make a dent.
Yes.
That's a
And
very
also, anyone else who's interested in co-investing whatsoever, also please feel free.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And I can't say enough about Startup Network. You do an incredible job, Alexander, and bringing people together. And you know, I feel honored to be part of these panels because you do an incredible job. And you know, the happiness if you brought people during the height of the pandemic so we could all communicate together is just, I can't tell you how important that was to me and is to me and from other people that have been involved.
Thank you so much for the input, Gary. Anyone else who wants to introduce him or herself?
I can go next. All right, you're in?
Yes, please.
Sheila? Okay, well, yeah, I'm Sheila Beladinejad. I work with private equity firms and conduct technical due diligences when they're going through mergers and acquisitions. I'm a technology consultant. My area of expertise is in AI. I work with VCs as well in evaluating target companies. So that is what I do as a profession. And talking about social impact, we also have formed a nonprofit association in Germany, which has gone global, called the Women in AI and Robotics. And we are on a mission to reduce the gender gap in these fields. We are lucky to have you in as one of our advisors in our association. Yay!
Yes.
And yeah, so that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. So one more person who wants to introduce himself.
So I'm going to go on then.
Okay.
Oh, we have two
Why do we
people.
do that?
Okay,
We
so
take two.
one starts and then the next one.
Okay, can I start because I don't see the other person? Okay, so hello everyone. I am Julia Kpis. I'm calling from Munich, and yeah, social impact has been part of my professional life since ever, basically. I come from education background, and I've worked in welfare, and I've been freelancing trainer also in EU projects, and currently I am with the Social Impact Lab. And my topic now is migrant entrepreneurship. And we've just launched a new project called Get Steady, where we are looking for mentors for migrant entrepreneurs in Germany. Why do we do this? Because founding a company is not a piece of cake, as you all know, but it's even tougher if you are not born in Germany or if German is not your mother tongue. So that's why we are looking for mentors. And we also have another program called the Human Safety Net, where we support migrants and people with refugee background to start their company or to start their business. And that also can be small things like a hairdresser shop or bigger things like a fashion label. So I'm very glad to be on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julia, for being here. Fantastic. So there was another person?
Yeah, that was me.
Fantastic. I was waiting for you to say something.
Sure. So here I am. So my name is Connie. I'm born in Munich and based in Salzburg, Austria right now. Or for the last 20 years, I've been an entrepreneur, mainly in the fitness and health industry. And therefore, our purpose always has been to help people to live a better, a healthier, more active life. So this was actually our original idea of having an impact. So in 2019, I founded CK Venture Capital together with my sister Katja, which brought me a bit back to Munich, even a little bit. We are not a fund. We are investing as business angels in early stage startups, mainly pre-seed seed phase. And we've got a high focus on impact. So how do we define impact? We are looking for the real game changers for solving the great problems we've got nowadays, or how we call it, we're looking for startups that make the world a bit better. Sounds a bit pathetic, but it's the best definition we've got for us. So we've made 11 investments so far. So I'm looking forward to tonight and wish everybody good luck.
Thank you, Connie. It's not pathetic at all, I feel, right? Think big. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So that's not it. Here we have lots of other jury members. Most of them are totally new to our event series, but we are so happy to have them here with us, right? I've met Caroline and Roger. We've been jury members at another event run by GNL Ventures, Georg Reiferscheid. And all the others I met through networking, through LinkedIn, or through recommendations. So very, very happy to be here, to have you here on board. So maybe one or two of you want to introduce him or herself?
Maybe I can start, Irene. I'm Mark from Business Buddies, based in Berlin, and I work with sustainable startups, so kind of impact startups in a way. Helps them to build the company, to sharpen the strategy, and to get the funding, and also do some smaller angel tickets on my own.
Fantastic. Good to be here, right?
Yes, sure, absolutely.
Hope you feel comfortable with us all tonight. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yes, happy to go next, Irene.
Hello, it's Jasper.
Absolutely love the crowds. Seems like a big reunion, and it puts a smile on my face these dark and sometimes uncertain times. My name is Jasper. I'm from Kapakura. We have the leading early stage impact investor in Germany. We've done 20 investments, very much focusing on education, environment, and health. And obviously, a big topic is diversity. By the end of the year, I think we will have our portfolio totaling 50%, at least one female founder. And very much looking forward to today.
Fantastic. Great. Perfect place to be here. Yes. Okay. Roger.
Yes, I'm Roger Zimmerman, an American living in Germany for the last over 50 years. Co-founder and CEO of an NGO here in Germany called Next Entrepreneurs. As you all know, tech, artificial intelligence, robotics has totally changed the way companies work in the future. And future skills are becoming more and more needed in this world. And 65% of today's kids and high school kids will be working in jobs that don't even exist yet. So our mission is to prepare these young people for the workforce out there. We go out there in schools and teach them entrepreneurship, and are building an online platform with SAP together, which mirror these future skills. And the good news is over 70% of the ideas that these young people have are SDG oriented. And the real good news, over 50% are girls that are involved here. So the future looks great.
with you, definitely. And I know that you're always looking for great mentors, right? Also for your events and so on. So we are all willing to support, right? Because
and we're absolutely.
Yep. It's a great initiative. I love it. And keep on going, Roger.
Thank you.
So one more person. Yes, yeah.
Let me just say, I can really highly recommend. I mean, Next Entrepreneurs and the whole team, and what you built in the last years is really amazing. So I'm so happy to have you again here on the jury board, Roger. So looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So one last person who wanted to introduce himself, then I would highly recommend you just to enter your LinkedIn profile and to connect with one another. Okay. So we have Caroline.
Hi, hello everyone. Thanks for having me on board. Just wanted to say a quick hello here from Frankfurt. I am the co-founder of Station, which is actually a news platform. So I don't actually invest myself yet in startups in a monetary way in that sense, but I give them a platform. And I've also, I think, recruited a few startups to pitch for this event and also for others. So I'm always happy to connect with everyone on LinkedIn, and really cool to see so many faces here and just expanding the whole network. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Great that you're here.
Bravo.
So let's quickly move on. Yes, and not to forget our mentoring team. Huge responsibility. They've been coaching our startups and made them pitch ready. Here we have Sven Lindberg. Okay, I have to be polite, Professor Dr. Sven Lindberg, but I guess he doesn't mind me just calling him Sven. Marie Astrid, Rüdiger, Bernhard, Thomas Richter, Arndt Hungerberg. Maybe you just want to say briefly hello and wave your hand so that everyone can see you. Fantastic. Great. Next, we have our media partner, More Than Digital. Benjamin, are you there?
Yes. Hey.
Hey. So tell us who you are and why you're here and what you have to bring on the table today for the startups.
Actually, a little present. So More Than Digital is all about be the change. And this is our mission, how to give everybody access to the future. So of course, invest for the future is a big thing for us. So we sponsor pretty much 3 memberships for More Than Digital, and a little intro what we are doing. We actually grew to the biggest digital initiative in Europe, and actually the 2nd biggest worldwide right now. And we give access to information to the future to now almost 2 million executives per year. So what we are like a small Wikipedia for business, if you want to call it. And another kind of like a little intro to that, we also give a marketing coaching for the first place. So they also get a little dent in their social impact for more reach, for more marketing, for better sustainability and whatever topics we have there. So really looking forward for this session, and thanks for having us with you.
Thank you, Benjamin. So you're one of the best, the best platform to get greater visibility and reach for our winning startups. Right. Fantastic. So now let's come to, I guess now I will hand over to Georg, because he's so excited. He said, like, Iran keeps talking.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
You can't wait. So the stage is yours, Georg.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, thank you very much for all of you who participate in this event. Again, without you, this would not have been possible. So we have so many jury members, partners, mentors. And just for information, I guess everyone knows, right? There's no money in it here so far, I would say. Hopefully after this, we have some investments going on. But everyone is doing this here on his or her free time. So thank you very, very much for this and all the engagement we have here. And also as one very important information for all the startups. So besides your pitch, use every opportunity you have to get in touch with all these amazing people here and the amazing networks. So maybe not just via LinkedIn, just get in touch, maybe even today here through this session through the chat function. As you have heard from Gary, I think he is very much looking forward to extend his number of investments from 76 maybe to way more than 80. So let's see what is possible today. So as you know, criteria for evaluation. I mean, the jury members, they are very experienced. They know how to to judge, right? As we know, we have these typical elements of what a good pitch looks like. We have a business model, and today, especially the topic of impact. So what's your understanding of impact? Why do you want to have this kind of impact? The USP, your team, your customers, who you want to work with, who you don't want to work with, and all the other elements. But without putting too much emphasis on these 8 points as a checklist, as you know, if you don't show and share your passion and your energy through these 3 minutes, none of these points will actually be really relevant, because it's all, let's say, a fight for attention. Yeah, so we want you to really show your full passion for your startup, for your ideas. Hi, Misha, nice to see you. One of the speakers just joined, and yeah, this is pretty much what is in the center of attention. Yeah, so have a good structure, use storytelling, evoke emotions, and yeah, we are very much looking forward to all the amazing pitches. So the evaluation process, which is also very important information for all the jury members. So I know it's all a matter of time management today, I would say. So please make sure that you are able to evaluate during, or let's say shortly after, the pitches, right? So we don't have a separate session about giving time to vote after all the pitches, but try to make sure that you will log into your account. You can scroll down the page, and then you can evaluate each startup after each pitch and after each Q&A. If you need any technical assistance, as we mentioned before, please refer to Mary in the chat, direct message to Mary. Please not refer to me right now as I'm moderating. I can't answer your text, obviously. And yeah, and then we are very much looking forward to the final results at the end. So, as you know, startups, and especially social startups, it's all about timing and time management. So my role for the next, let's say, hopefully 30 minutes will be to moderate through the pitches. As we heard today, the rules are very clear. We have 3 minutes as a pitch, and I have to be very strict due to fairness to all of you guys. So if you feel during your pitch that you lack time, whatever it is, don't rush, just skip 1 or 2 slides. Yeah. If the 3 minutes are over, so I will use my phone just for the timer. I very politely ask you to stop at this time, and then we hand directly over to the jury. As we mentioned also in the beginning, with the jury members all on board, just start asking your questions. I mean, we have to be realistic. We have more than 20 jury members. We cannot have 20 questions, obviously. We have somewhere around 3 minutes. So I would say, if you have brief questions and the startups are able to answer very brief, we can have in each Q&A 2 to 3 questions. All right. So, and as we know, if the startups convinced you guys, feel free to get in touch afterwards.
Georg, may I add something?
Yes, sure.
So just a little brief explanation for the jury members. I know you've received the briefing, but maybe it's also a good thing if I explain it again once more. You should have received a link, a special jury voting link. If not, please contact Mary via chat. You just click the link. You'll be redirected to the known page, but this time you have to scroll down until you see all the list of the startups, and you will see the ranking system, right? From 1 to 5. 1 meaning it's the poorest evaluation rate or score you can give, which is very bad, and 5 will be very good, right? So as Georg already pointed out, please do it as soon as the startup has already pitched, as not to lose any time and to keep in mind what has been actually told. And once you have clicked on that, you need to do nothing at all because it's already saved. Just put your voting there and that's it. No saving whatsoever. It's in there in our system. Thank you.
All right. So without further ado, Irene, would you mind showing the list of startups that are going to pitch now in our first jury, session? So this is actually the order from left, the bottom left, the top left to the bottom right. So we have 6 amazing different startups from Germany and Austria. We have Get Bulk, Work Academy, Africa Green Tech, Smart Natives, Parcel P, and Economy Token. And Alex, we know you have been very spontaneously, so please start sharing your screen. Please prepare for your first pitch right now. And after this, Olga, I already have seen that you're also there. You can already also prepare for the second pitch. And Alex, if you're ready, I will start my timer.
Thank you, Georg. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Dear judges, dear participants, and dear viewers, my name is Alex, and today I present to you our startup Get Bulk. On average in Germany, each of us produces around about 22 kilos of plastic waste that goes into the recycling bin every year. However, only 15% of this is recycled. So there remains far too much of single-use plastic. We, and also the environment, think this is too much. We need a better solution for this packaging madness. This is why we start with our startup Get Bulk. We offer cleaning products from well-known sustainable German brands like Klar, Sodasan, Sonnet, Almavin, and more in our stylish reusable metal bottles, reducing CO2 emissions by approximately 50% after already 15 cycles. So how does it work, the process? The customer orders online and gets the delivery at home in the package like this one. After the bottle is empty, it will not be thrown away like today in the trash bin, but is put back into the package and sent back to us. We clean it, refill with a new product, and sell to the next customer after the next purchase. We, the co-founders, think that with our experience and expertise, we can realize a solution like this. Dima, my co-founder, produces and sells similar product, handmade sustainable soap. I have around about 15 years of consulting experience and am today responsible for sales and project development. Our main competitor, US company Loop, is already established in 5 countries, but not yet in Germany. We see some German startups in food industry, and our vision shows that in several years we have our products in offline retailers next to beverage products that we have already today as fund products. Our growth model, business model is very ambitious, but our market analysis shows that both e-commerce and sustainability trends will support us to reduce plastic pollution. Thank you for your attention. I'm looking forward to answer your questions.
All right, thank you very much. You even still have 12 seconds left, so this is pretty much on point. And thanks for reminding me that I have to clean my apartment again. So, jury members, Tobias has a question, so just shoot and feel free to ask.
Yeah, hi, Alex. Thanks for presenting. I'm Toby from Planet A, and I would be interested in how you calculated your impact, actually. You said that you're some 50% better in terms of CO2. I'd like to know how you actually calculated that.
We calculated the whole chain. So how much CO2 costs to produce one plastic bottle and how much CO2 does it cost to 15% recycle and 85% to really burn it. That is what happens to the plastic garbage. It burns. So this is CO2 for one bottle. For our bottles, we took also the whole chain. So production of a steel bottle, transportation to us, and then every cycle. So we have, of course, transportation CO2 footprint as well, but the more cycles we get, the less CO2 compared to one plastic bottle we have. So holistic approach. So we try to look at the whole chain. Thank you.
Paulus, next question.
Hi, everybody. Paulus from Generation D. I have a question. How do you motivate the people that they bring back and return the bottles, that they do not stick at home?
We call it Pfand in German, so it's a help me with an English. Well, so you have to leave some money. So now we have it's €5. So this is the motivation to return the bottle to us. If the customer wants to buy it and do not return the money, it's okay. So it's also a kind of part of advertising. So we have this bottle staying, sorry, the focusing at home, and other people are asking, what is it? So, sorry, it's not really focusing here. So, fund system.
All right, last and quick question from Christine.
Yeah, hello everybody. My question goes a little bit into the direction of Paulus. Thanks, Alex, for the great presentation. How convenient and easy is it for a user, basically, to use Get Bulk? Is it a B2C business model, I assume, right?
Yes. So this is the main focus, to make it easy, because we see that sustainable solutions are not really easy, like unverpackt shops that we have in Germany. So this is the whole idea, to make it easy. Yeah, we made a really questionnaire and asked about 1,000 people to answer, is it really difficult to bring this package back to the post station? And we have 80% people saying it's not a problem, because everyone is doing it today. You know, with every shop, shopping that you have to do today, you send a lot back. So this is kind of standard in our daily routine.
All right, Alex, thank you very much for this very good start in our pitch session. And let's continue with Olga Filipova. She's working on Workademy, a learning platform. And we are very curious to hear your pitch. Sorry for all these noises here. Olga, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sharing my screen.
Very nice. And when you're ready, I will start my timer.
Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm ready.
Then feel free.
Hi, I'm Olga, and I dream about corporate learning that is engaging and impactful. Learning and development professionals share this desire. Engagement and impact are related. Engagement in learning means efficiency at work, which means the ROI, which means the impact on the business ecosystem. So how do L&D professionals increase engagement? They use complex and expensive tools, authoring tools, to create interactive trainings. Then they export them, and then they upload them into existing learning management system and do it repeatedly to keep the content up to date. Of course, all other employees are not able to share their knowledge in the same way. So on top of spending resources to build engaging trainings, companies also lose money on non-existent knowledge retention. And to add up, such great tools as learning management systems have become just folders for content that is built with some other tools. We decided to create a learning management system that is not a folder and that allows creating engaging content. So we say that a training is engaging when an employee can apply the received knowledge at work and make an impact on business. How do we create such a training? Follow these 3 steps. Think of your business goals and the learning outcomes for a training that are aligned with these goals. Second, think of the questions that you would ask an employee to check that they have achieved these learning outcomes. Now, write the content that helps answering these questions. Congratulations, you just created a goal-oriented training for your employees. This simple yet powerful methodology is called backward planning, and we, along with some other didactic tricks, integrated it into Workademy. Workademy is an all-in-one learning management system that allows anyone in the company to create engaging courses. There is no need for other authoring or analytics tools because our subscription covers it all: a didactic course creator, an intuitive course viewer, and integrated analytics module to measure the success. As simple as it sounds, but it took us years to refine this methodology while working in an educational studio where we have created over 100 of online courses. 30 years of engineering expertise helped us to integrate this knowledge into a product that our clients love. They love building courses up to 10 times faster, that their employees learn and and apply knowledge twice as faster as before. They love that it empowers peer-to-peer learning and unlocks employee knowledge with a great resource for the companies. One of our clients, for example, onboarded 200 employees and doubled their revenues during the lockdown. Quite impressive. We have a promising sales pipeline, and currently we are raising our pre-seed round to convert it into traction and start expansion. If you want to support us in our mission to get rid of folders in corporate learning and make an impact on business ecosystem, please join us. Thank you very much.
Perfect, on point. Thank you very much, Olga. And let's start right away as before with the jury questions. Christine, is it still you raising your hand, or is it from the? It's from. Yeah, this is the reason why let's try to do it without hands, maybe. Any questions from the jury members? What do you think about Workademy?
So maybe I start with a question. Hi, Olga. Thanks for your presentation. This is Anna-Sophie from Bonventure. Regarding your business model, how would you define the impact, and what could impact KPIs be to track this impact or to make it measurable?
So we identify that we act on two sustainability goals. It's 4 and 8: quality education and decent work. And we at corporate environment, we measure it by the time that people spend on creating learnings, and the time people spend actually learning, and the time that passed before they started to learn to started applying the learning at work. This is what we call engaging learning. And we have social impact, because we provide our platform almost for free to the NGOs and nonprofits that act on social impactful spheres.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question from the jury? So you just have been blown away by the presentation, Olga. I think this would be the interpretation.
Cool.
You didn't let anything unanswered, so you answered everything.
This is Gary. I mean, this is really about the democratization of opportunity. So one, how we, and these are just some questions that we can take offline, but how are you going to really get this to become viral, right? If you got 4 customers at 300 euros per month. I mean, how long have you been in business?
1.5 years.
Okay, well, you don't have a lot of traction for 1.5 years, right? So what's your, so my questions would be, how are you going to get that traction up? I love I look at it, the democratization of opportunity, that is an impact, right? To be able to bring it to people that normally wouldn't have it. But how are you going to get that up? And so that's a question in my mind. And what's your month-over-month growth today? That would be something else that I would be, I'm curious about.
Yeah, we have to see that it's been 1.5 years, but we haven't been always selling. So we started it quite recently, and we combine community building with content marketing and event marketing, and we are slowly but steadily getting into some position where we are recognized in Germany. So I think that we will get there, even though currently we have only 6 paying customers, but we have a lot of companies that use it with social impact, and we have around 60,000 learners that are learning on the platform by the social impact companies and startups. So I think that we will get the visibility. I am pretty sure.
All right. Thank you very much, Olga. And yeah, as I mentioned before, it's all about time and time management. So let's move on to the next startup already. And even though in the beginning of our event, I told you guys that that a lot of impact startups very often lack public visibility and everything. And I think about this startup, this is not really true, because there's a lot of traction about Africa Green Tech. There's media coverage all over the place. So I'm very happy that you're here to present and pitch Africa Green Tech. And the floor is yours, so you feel free to share your screen and to pitch Africa Green Tech.
Hello everyone. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Perfect. I don't know if it's big screen. No, yes, I guess. Yeah, hello everyone. Super happy to meet you all. So yeah, let's start. Africa Green Tech is a German social enterprise created by Ida and Thorsten Schreiber in 2017. And our mission is to empower people in the global south to achieve more self-determination and growth through sustainable energy solutions. So I would like to start with an impact story, short about Nasu Umar. And the man was about to go to Europe to take his chance. And when hearing that Africa Green Tech was about to arrive in his hometown, he decided to stay and is now leading his own businesses thanks to the electricity provided by the solar tanner in his village. And yeah, as you may know, more than 600 million people in sub-Saharan Africa don't have access to electricity. So with this impact site, with this solution brought, Africa Green Tech has developed an holistic solution that supplies entire village communities in rural regions with electricity and sustainable technologies. So for us at the moment, it's already in Niger and Mali. And as you can see, we've taken the electricity to the next level by developing an intelligent system that can withstand the harsh conditions of off-grid regions in Africa and outperforming sometimes even more modern European standards. And in addition to the electricity supply, we offer, as you can see on the right, also cooling solution, water purification, internet access, water irrigation, and women empowerment and consulting offers. Indeed, Africa Green Tech impact sites in Mali and Niger demonstrate how this technology empowers people to make their own path toward a sustainable and self-determined future by taking advantage of new job opportunities and obviously also income streams. And yeah, here we by like effective cold chains and water treatment enable better handling of the consequences of climate change, obviously, while new prospects serve to counteract migration. And close cooperation with local employees and partners is a key factor of our success. And Africa Green Tech is developing high quality technologies to resist the conditions in Africa, as well as completely being environmental oriented, because we try as much as we can to reduce the diesel system, the diesel generators used in the villages. And we dispose of a strong network community, as mentioned George earlier, community on the field in Africa. And yeah, we try to work as much as we can with local communities, and also 70% of our employees are locally based, meaning that we hire the employees in the villages around to co-create the solutions. And moreover, we develop our own financing tools through impact investing. And now the last slide about equity investment opportunities at Africa Green Tech. In the near future, we'll start our Series B, raising 20 million and an impact investment private equity fund. This one will allow us to finance the 300 impact sites. And yeah, thank you very, very much for your attention, and feel free to ask me any questions. I will try to answer them all, even if it's going to be 3 minutes, but yeah, let's try.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, Enzo, and happy to have you guys on board. So, jury, what are your questions for Africa Green Tech? Yeah, let's maybe let the slides open. So
yeah, of course.
Any questions from the jury?
Yes, Mark here. And so thanks a lot for the great presentation. Very, very amazing presentation. And yeah, the product makes a lot of sense when you present it, but how does it work in practice? Because it's highly complex and it has to run for, I don't know, many, many years or centuries. So how do you make sure that you not only implement it, but that it's also working, I don't know, in 5 or in 10 years time?
Yeah, of course. So basically, we start obviously by sourcing and try to implement the best components to build the impact site and the solar tanner, because we are building it, and also because on the site you always have one guard to protect the impact site, to protect the solar tanners. That is the main element of the impact site, and we have a maintenance team trained by our engineers in Germany. And yes, each impact site, each solar container has at least one person who's maintaining the structure and one guard to protect the solar container.
Okay. Okay.
Right. Thank you. I think Sheila, you had a question.
Yes, I do. So you mentioned in your presentation that you are making impact on a woman and empowering them. I'd like to learn a little bit more on how that is done.
Yes, sure. So we started, so basically the solution, the impact site, the electricity is sold to households and also small businesses. And what we try to implement is also when we, for example, spot impact stories and when we spot someone in the village who's already basically a business owner, a woman who's like leading a business, we discuss with her. We have basically a structure around where we're gonna try to understand how she was using the diesel generators before and now how she's basically taking profit of the electricity. And we try to discuss, we try to implement solutions also with her to, I don't know, create extra businesses. And you can find on our websites many different impact stories for women that took profit of the electricity to create their second shop or their second small company.
All right. Thank you very much for your answers and the questions. And Misha, Fritz, I know the speaker panel starts just in a while, but I'm so happy to have you here on board. And I know that with all your initiatives, Viva Con Agua, Goldeimer, you work so much in the Africa region. I'm not sure if you guys have already connected or if you know about each other. So maybe it would also make sense that you guys can connect with your initiatives.
Absolutely. Like I wrote in the chat, thanks for having me. And I love Africa Green Tech. I think it's a marvelous example for how you do it, how you integrate, especially locally. I think their work inspires me a lot. So I'm a big fan already.
Great. And we will hear from
everyone nods his head. Everyone is so excited. And it was thanks to Oliver Kuschel that Africa Green Tech has joined, right?
All right, guys. So again, it's about timing, just as information for all the amazing speakers. I've seen that you're already here on board. So regarding time, we still have some pitches left before we start into the speaker panel moderated by Sarah and her team. So let's continue with Adriane and the team of Smart Native. So again, we have an ed tech startup. And maybe this is also very interesting for Roger. I'm not sure if you guys can even also connect afterwards. Are you there, Adriane?
Yes, I'm there.
Perfect.
And I think for the Q&A session, maybe you can unmute also Rinku, which is also in the Zoom, but I think he already dealt with this.
All right.
Okay.
So when you're ready, I'm ready, and the time is running. So pitch number 4, we are proceeding.
Okay.
All right, then time is running.
Okay, hi, my name is Adriana. So last Friday, we actually ran this hackathon, and this is the problem we run into almost every time we run events like this. There's a group of teens, or mostly girls, and they say something like, when we approach them, we've never coded before, and we don't know how this works, and we're not really good with tech stuff. And you probably all agree that the school system, at least in Germany, sucks. And kids have no access to the digital world, but they're very good consumers of it. But they're lacking the understanding of the technology behind it. And we want to create something that creates a little piece of a puzzle. So we want to be that little corner piece. We obviously cannot change the whole world, but we want to engage younger kids before they have made up their mind what they can do and what they can't do. And this is what we came up with. This is a robotic kit, and I hope it works now. Yeah. And it gives access to kids that are younger, and it creates interest and perspective. But what is behind it is a robotic kit and an AI-based app, but also their imagination. And this is what we focus on, because we take human-centered IT really serious, and we use the imagination of the kids and the app, and kids use their old toys to upcycle their project. And it's something you can't really see our product, because we create empowerment and enablement. But the good news is that there is a market for it. And when you look at the German toy market alone, with the category of kids being 18%, it proves that profit can also mean impact and must not be traded for sustainability. And so if you look at all the German kids between the age and 8 and 11, which we target for our first year, we think that we can reach around 480,000 kids and create about 2.9 million EBITDA. We want to address parents, or we want to target parents, but also schools and government institutions. We have no direct competitors, because it's a different concept of working with kids and creating toys, but they're indirect competitors. And we've had some traction. Rinku has actually won, together with one of our teammates, the first prize in an ideathon of the Frankfurt University of Applied Science. But with our company, we actually are very successful, and with this, the RoboPack would be a different product. And our team consists of me. I'm a teacher actually, and tech and IT enthusiast, and also I'm a reviewer for the Ministry of Education. And my co-founder, Rinku, is the founder of Tech Heroes, an innovation and programming school. And we work together with Mohammed, a student. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, sorry, I just realized, even though it's a pitch competition, the reason that you're all having these good courses, it's so hard to cut you after 3 minutes, but I'm trying to stick to this. Yeah, thank you very much, Adriane. Let's continue with the jury and questions about your robot and AI kits. Who wants to start?
I want to start. So thanks for the presentation. So you said you want to empower the girls. So how do you want to address them? How do you want to show them that they are their main target group?
So to clarify, we don't only target girls. We truly believe in diversity. And we also saw that if we run events, or if we target only girls, they don't feel they think, okay, maybe it's just for certain girls. And so we truly believe in diversity, and this is how we actually target also girls.
All right, thank you.
Rinku, you want to add something?
Yeah, maybe just a quick thing, because when you said there are robotic sets are on there, and we have with the methodology we have created them, we are creating specific robo sets for girls, with utilizing their toys, such as, you know, the different things which we are utilizing to get girls into robotics and AI.
All right, thank you. One more question from Verena.
Yeah, hi, thanks for the presentation. Very interesting, and I believe in coding programs for kids. No issue here. Since I just learned you are a teacher, I would be interested to know how you plan to overcome the sucking German schooling system. since I learned that one of your customers groups will be schools. As far as I know, schools never have any money. Sometimes only the Trägervereine, but no one else has money, and the communities usually are not prepared to give money on top of that. And I would like to know why it's not the companies or perhaps Wirtschaftsfördergesellschaften you're approaching as well, since you're doing something for the future workforce.
Brinkley, do you want to answer that, or should I?
Sure. We are doing this already, and as Adriana already mentioned, we have won a couple of prizes, and most of the prizes are in fact somehow laid to the Wirtschaftsförderungen. And of course, there are huge Stiftungen, I don't know, NGOs, yes, who support us as well. So we do definitely go parallel within the school infrastructure, and then also with the NGOs, companies, and in fact Wirtschaftsförderung.
But we bypass the usual funding for the school, because we know that even though I work with the Ministry of Education, I know how hard it is to get into that, and this is how we sort of finance our for now our workshops.
All right, thank you. And one quick last question, hopefully from Sheila, and one quick last answer from the team.
Okay, I'll be quick. I'm trying to better understand your product. So it's a robotics kit, and you teach AI with it. So what's on the app? You mentioned an AI app.
Well, the app basically the instructions and stuff like Q&A sessions, and even how the building of the robots is being done through the AI, which detects the workflow and so on, and also suggests us how to build, because none of our toolkit would be like a simple model. So you could develop with one RoboSet, you could easily develop up to 15 to 20 different robot types. So this the AI helps help the kid to develop different models out of one set.
Do you have adaptive learning on the back end?
Yes.
Cool.
And actually, we were winner of the last year's largest education hackathon via Schule, and where the idea was born.
Very nice. So many amazing and inspiring startups. Thank you very much, Smart Natives. And just one organizational quick question in the crowd. Is there someone from Economy Token? Do we have someone from Economy Token? This is actually good news, because then we can spare some time. So last pitch before we listen also to Tom from Stiftung Wirkungsanteil, and then hand over to our, and I can't emphasize enough, amazing speaker panel. Oh, Jan, you're fast. Okay. Parcel P, Jan, you want to fight empty trucks. Let us know how.
Yeah, thank you very much. My family lives in the Netherlands, and I drive a lot on motorways to meet them and see many fully loaded trucks on the way, making Germans happy with Dutch tulips and Dutchies happy with German beer. But the truth is, almost half of those trucks are empty. More than 40% of the space driven around is not occupied. That's a huge waste of money and a disaster for our climate. Road traffic is one of the major producers of carbon. The wasted energy on German roads equals the whole CO2 output of Sweden. On the other side, we order more and more on the internet. In 2020, more than 4 billion parcels were shipped in Germany, generating a revenue of more than 80 billion euros. E-commerce companies are growing fast. Too fast for the parcel delivery industry. They have reached the limit of growth and increase their prices every year. For many products and e-commerce business models, delivery costs are a huge and even growing problem. I'm Jan Casalet, founder of Parcel P, and we developed an ecosystem that reduces waste in the freight industry and saves lots of money. Parcel P is utilizing existing freight capacities. If, for example, a truck drives half empty from Amsterdam to Zurich, it can pick up a pallet in Bremen and drop it off in Xanten. As we avoid our own infrastructure, we can offer a single parcel delivery from as little as 99 cents, beating all our competitors. And we work almost 100% carbon and traffic neutral. For both our clients and our end users, using Parcel P is super simple. Let me explain by taking you on a very quick end user customer journey. First of all the user has to do is to add a product, for example, some paper into the shopping basket of an online office supply. Second, that user chooses the parcel P delivery option in our client shop system and might add a last mile delivery service too. The parcel will then either be delivered to a location close to the end user and can be picked up, or it will be delivered by last mile delivery service to the door. Our secret sauce is the fact that all the relations between our customers and the end user regions are served anyway by existing and already driving trucks that are not fully loaded. Many companies offer the remaining empty spaces via real-time marketplaces. This is where Parcel P comes into play. Parcel P can find availabilities, get a quota, and place the order for the transportation of our pallet in real time. And there are quite a few numbers of platforms such as Mira and Sender, and all of them combined offer capacities literally any time of day between large cities all over Europe. The European parcel delivery market is 58 billion euros in size, and that's a huge and growing market. We want to be on the road with the first pilot soon. LOI is assigned, live a little later, and growing steadily after. Due to our highly scalable idea, we expect this growth to be exponential. Once on the market, we can easily adapt our product to almost any region of the world. Soon there will be a new government in Germany. On 180 pages in the coalition agreement, we count 200 times the word climate. And carbon neutral last mile logistics was explicitly mentioned. Now it is time for Parcel P. Thank you for your attention.
Perfect, on time. Thank you very much, Jan. Yeah, let's go to the questions from the jury. Who else wants to fight empty trucks and help Jan? Any questions from the jury? Where are our logistic experts?
May I again?
Yeah, sure, Verena.
Since I know a little about the logistics system around the port of Rotterdam, where they introduced such pre-pickup points, as far as I know, I also seem to remember that like years ago, I have come across a similar approach, a platform, and I think it was some co-developed with Fraunhofer and Mobilitätsnetzwerk Nordrhein-Westphalia, something like that. And there was a system like that. Where is your USP? I mean, I don't know what happened to all these other systems which I heard about like years ago. Have they come into place? Is it that you found a better solution and you have like a better way to convince community and logistics companies to invest and use your tool and your platform and the services? Because sometimes it's in the cities and in the towns that they don't want like pickup points outside of the town because you have the resistance of local logistics companies. Well, I see a little problem there. That's why I'm asking these somehow heretical questions. Sorry about that.
I mean, these marketplaces already exist for some time, and even before them, there has always been an exchange between these companies to try to reduce the waste. The value we add is to sell the single delivery of a parcel, and that has, for some reason, not been done yet. So if we succeed, we would really be the first ones. And we only exist because these marketplaces are already there. We would not be able to do what we do if that work would not have already been done before. But I totally agree with the waste and with the useless driving of half empty or well, probably full, but of all those delivery trucks. I think that's one of the main issues in the future to reduce traffic within city centers.
All right. Yeah, Jen, this is Gary. You know, Click Software, the company that we sold for 1.35 billion, did optimization algorithm, came out of the Israeli Air Force, by the way. We didn't look at it in terms of CO2 emissions at the time. It was having the right truck at the right place at the right time with fuel oil, for instance, making sure. So I like the way you've applied it. And, you know, just some words of encouragement. We were 9 people when we got started on this project. But the key is you need to figure out how to get out there. We started that 20 years ago. Right, just FYI. So I think the angle you take is really interesting. I like it, but it's more than just the amount of packages there. It's who's driving the truck, how big the truck is, right? I'm sure you take that into consideration, what the space available is, et cetera. But I like what you're doing, and I think that I think that the CO2 emissions part is very interesting, but it's more than that. It's how fast I can get it there and how can I reduce emissions at the same time, right? With the right quality of drivers.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, Gary, for this comment. And one quick last, again, because of time. Yeah, now I have to choose between Julia and Anna. I don't know. Julia, do you want to leave your question now?
Yeah, thank you. I was interested to know, Jan, how you decided to focus on this individual parcels. Like, what was the process or the research behind it that made you focus on that? And by the way, of course, this problem that you're trying to solve is huge, and I'm really happy to see ideas there taking place. Thank you.
Well, even though we have a different approach, we are competing with DHL and other companies, so we have to sell a single parcel delivery just for competitive reasons. Of course, we are benefiting from better utilized pallets too. So with the volume, it also increases our profitability. But in that sense, we have to offer a single parcel, the delivery of a single parcel.
All right. Thank you, Jan. And yeah, thank you for these amazing first 5 pitches. So jury members, again, remember to leave your votes already right now. We had GetBulk, Alex from GetBulk, Olga from Work Academy, Enzo from Africa Green Tech, Adriane from Smart Natives, and now Jan from Parcel-P. And before I finally can hand over to Tech Well Told and Sarah, and I know you're already looking forward, and also the speakers, one last presentation. We didn't want to call it a real pitch because Stiftung Wirkungsanteil is not like a real startup in this sense, but they have a lot of efforts and engagement for other startups, especially in the impact area. So Tom, we decided to give you this floor right now. Are you there, Tom?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect, amazing. So even though I said it's not a real pitch, also try to be brief and to show us. So just as a quick note, I saw your presentation, what is it, like 3 weeks ago at the Business Angel Day in Cologne. So yes, happy to have you aboard again. And yeah, let's listen to Stiftung Wirkungsanteil.
Yes, I try to keep it really short and simple, but I also have a short pitch deck. Thanks again for the opportunity. I'm really grateful that I can talk about the Stiftung Wirkungsanteil that we founded in September this year. And I think, or we think, all entrepreneurs want to make an impact. And since we're talking about impact today, the whole evening, when you talk about impact, you also have to talk about responsibility and about corporate social responsibility when it comes to business. And this also refers to startups, because startups are nowadays corporates too. Because when you look, we heard a lot more often today, the new coalition agreement, and more than 17 times the word startup was mentioned in the new coalition agreement. And also an important voice like Felix Haas, the chairman of Bits and Pretzels, last week in a Handelsblatt interview said that startups should, I can refer the quote, that the responsibility of startups has never been greater, and they should find their own way how they can give back to society. And the question is, how can startups give back to society when they are exit orientated, not only impact orientated? Because the problem is 92% of the founders are personally committed to CSR, but on the other hand, only 19% of the startups have designated someone for CSR in their startups. And when you look at the last German startup monitor, social impact strategies have been gone down by 4%. So how should startups solve this problem when they have no time and resources to develop their own suitable social strategy? And this is where we start focusing on exit-oriented startups. We are kind of one module to help them with the impact shares or Wirkungsanteil. It's a pledge. It's that the startups can transfer 1% of the shares to our foundation, and focusing on growing and working on their development with their programs and their services. And in the end, when it comes to an exit, the 1% will be shared to a social or charitable purpose, and the founders by themselves can decide where the money should go to. And this process is really quick and easy and cost-free. So more than this, we want to build a community like with people like are here today. I'm really thrilled about all this pledges I already heard, and I'm looking forward to the panels. And yeah, we want to build a community of like-minded founders. And we have some really interesting people on board. One of them, for example, is Cent. Markus Sauerhammer is here as well today. He will be part of the panel discussion. And I'm really happy that we have the first startups on board already, since we started only 2 months ago. And yes, I'm really happy to connect via LinkedIn, and we have the next How to Wirkungsanteil event in December. And I will share the link, the Eventbrite link. And yeah, I'm also happy for questions, or we can go on. I don't know how the time looks, Georg. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, okay. First of all, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. And yeah, let's again, as you mentioned, let's share all the information you have, the Eventbrite link and LinkedIn profiles, everything in the chat. Are there any questions or comments from the audience? I mean, again, our whole idea for today, we just try to put a lot of inputs, a lot of energy in these, somewhere around 3 hours, and we know we can still continue, obviously. Okay, I can just continue. All right. So far, as I mentioned, about the first 5 pitches and then the presentation from Tom, Stiftungswirkungsanteil. Thank you very much to all of you guys for the first pitch round. And now, Sarah, you can't wait. I can see already your smile. The amazing panelists, the floor is yours, and I hand over to your moderation. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you so much. We speed a little up, and I say we just do 35 minutes just to not enlarge this number here. Yeah, I'm so looking forward to discussing a very interesting question together with you, and I can see all the amazing panelists here, so I don't have to introduce them to you. But of course, I want to do so in a, let's say, challenging way. I mean, since we're doing pitches here, let's do a little challenge for our panelists to get to know you and maybe what you're passionate about. You can maybe complete the sentence. If I were able to send the whole world one tweet, my message would be, and think about the limitation of the characters. There are just 280 characters on Twitter. So maybe, Michael, there you go. So please complete the sentence if you were able to send one message to the world.
That we all sit in the same boat. So let's get that shit done.
That would be an amazing hashtag, I think. Let's get the shit done. So next one, Lubomila is unfortunately not here. She's not feeling well, but she says hello to everyone and good luck to all our startups here. So let's move on with Markus.
Hi, though the one tweet is only discussing problems is very boring. Go beyond and solve them. Let us all become social entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and change makers for shaping a gradual, suitable future.
Maybe that is, yeah, that is one tweet. I say that is one tweet. Very good. So next
tweet, a little bit longer. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe you're one of them who are always putting those first and second in their tweets to just write a little bit more in their tweets. We move on with Katharina.
Yeah, hi. I'm the managing director of the B&W, and I checked it if it suits in the tweet. My tweet would be: sustainability is much more than a trend. It has come to stay. And so it's time for the last companies and the business associations of the old economy to focus on the opportunities. And it's not utopia. Sustainability pays off.
I think there would be a lot of likes for that tweet. Well done. So Kai, that is a real tough challenge for you right now. I mean, there were 3 very good tweets so far. What would your tweet look like?
Well, I would say, can entrepreneurs save the planet? And I would say yes, because they have the why. So we have to put collaboration and trust as the main guideline to get to the how.
That is very good. So you tackle on the purpose point. That is very good. So next one is Andreas.
Hi, everybody. I'm very sorry. Before I do my tweet, I have to say it really reminds me of like the European Song Contest. And you're doing great moderation. And thank you very much for the great show so far. So here are the points from Berlin. No, sorry, I'm just kidding. No, but anyhow, it was really, really great so far. My tweet is, welcome to the impact age. So we are facing huge challenges, but collectively we can tackle them. So it matters impact.
Well, Berlin, 12 points. Thank you. Last, but of course not least, Oliver.
Yeah, hi to everyone. My tweet would be, there's only one chance to solve the major challenges of today's world. It's to solve them with entrepreneurial means.
Entrepreneurial means. So maybe we can dive in deeper into that topic and what you mean. Our talk is all about, you see, invest for impact. How do we get there? Or let's focus on a question: growth or sustainability, how to create impact on society with social startups. And we talk about impact very often here. So my first question to my panel is, what does impact means? I mean, in a social and economical way. Is anyone here brave enough to answer as the first?
Yes.
Maybe I can jump in
Okay,
here.
Kai, that's good. You go.
First raising the hand. Right. Thank you. I do think that I just want to get a little bit deeper in what I said before. Impact and profit are not opposites. What we need to do is to get the framework right, that we have a holistic view on what the impact of what we're doing is really, and not the oversimplified system that we might have now. This is complicated, and when we look backwards, like let's put ourselves in the future, 2050, then we could pretty easily see where we will be in a better framework. How we get there is the huge challenge they have right now. We all feel that we're too slow, and that's what I wanted to say a bit earlier. Trust the people, trust in the capacity of everybody to no one wants to damage, no one wants to be destructive in the first place. So we can give people, and each single one of us, more responsibility and the means to do what we feel is good for us and our close or further environment. So impact means that we take responsibility for what we're doing, for all of our actions, and we have, from the regular framework outer, the possibility to do so. So like something like social impact is always in the first place to make any substantial environmental impact sustainable and be done in the long run.
Okay, there was another hand raise, I think. Or is everything set with that from Kai? Yes, Andreas.
So of course, I'm very delighted to see that you're putting impact and impact measurement at the core of the discussion. And that's really very needed. Nevertheless, for me, it's important to say it's not about the frameworks. It's not about the KPIs. Yes, we need those, but the starting point is the mindset. So we need a collective mindset that we are really in a phase of transition into a new economy, into a new society. And if we build a society around impact, then it's about the purpose, the mindset, the attitudes we're having. And once we have that, then we can use the frameworks, the KPIs, and there are a lot of frameworks out there. I would like to just refer to one thing, which is the impact measurement project. So here we are getting close to getting also an agreement on a global level. So what are the instruments, the frameworks we're using? Because if we would like to see that the impact ecosystem further develops, we have to also agree at some point on standards, because otherwise the due diligence is always way too expensive. We need KPIs where we can do the comparison, the benchmarks. So please try to use the same instruments and not reinventing the wheel over and over again. But again, the starting point is the mindset.
starting point is the mindset, but of course, when it comes to money, measurements are very important. And I did a little research, Oliver, on your LinkedIn banner of Anthropia. There's a job offer, and I think a lot of people, they would be afraid to take that advantage, to take that job, because the job offer is Chief Executive Officer World. I like that. I don't know how many applications you got already, but your company supports all other companies who change or that change the world. So there's at least a little measurement in there when you say those companies, they can change the world. So how do you measure impact?
Yeah, how do we measure impact? Yeah, so we are running the Impact Factory with Antropia, the biggest incubator accelerator for impact startups in Germany. So right now we have 115 startups in our community, and with batch 6, there are another 30 joining our community. So we are not really measuring it in the first step. So, but when we evaluate the applications, we have 4 characteristics that we measure. We said, okay, is impact in the center of the business model, not at the side? It has to be in the center of the business model of the startup. We want to have an innovative product or service. We are looking for scalable products or service, but because without scalability, there is no impact. And we are looking for an economically sustainable business model. Doesn't mean that it has to be for profit. NGOs can be sustainably profitable, like Viva Con Agua is as well, yeah, or other NGOs as well, but they have to have a good service that is really interesting for foundations to fund it. So these are the 4 characteristics that we evaluate, and then hopefully we choose the best startups from all the applications. Every time we get around 100 applications every half a year. So there are a lot of impact startups around, and the numbers rising.
I've got a question for Katharina, because when I buy something and I have the feeling that this is sustainable, I always think I have to pay more for that product. So it's always kind of a disadvantage. I mean, at least it feels like that. So what do you think? You have a good overview with the Bundesverband. What is the status quo in Germany in terms of measurements, and of course, measurements in the context of success?
Yeah, I think really the success of a company is still imperfectly measured today, because social environmental performance does not appear in the balance sheet. So I'm convinced we have to calculate differently. We have to calculate correctly, and this includes introducing true price accounting. It's really my favorite topic, and I'm talking about it on various stages, because it's so important to know which impact the true price thing will have. And the planned CSRD directive is a step in the right direction. But politics must also support the transformation towards more social impact with, for example, true prices. And there, the coalition agreement is really, poor on some points. And if we really want to build fair markets for climate protection, fair markets for social sustainability, then we need true prices.
That is a very good point. You mentioned the political side and the society and the ecological side. So impact means kind of economy, or let's say an ecosystem. We can't do really impact. We can't put impact on something if we don't have a real ecosystem for that. And I think, Michael, you were already mentioned, and I want to jump back to the beginning of this great event, because Georg showed us the 17 goals of the UN Action Plan, and I also had a look at this, and there were parts like no poverty, zero hunger, clean water, and this is why I come to Michael. Do you think we have a let's say, Western mindset? I mean, we always try to buy our coffee in a recap system, but there are so many basic issues out there. Is it the right time to tackle those, let's say, last mile concepts, let's say the coffee to go concept, since we still have those basic issues like clean water?
I have, how do you say, hot water under my feet, and I can, ice under my feet and warm socks. I want to say it like that. So I'm not an expert, but I think at the end, these are all structural problems. And in a way, it's like giving pharma to a football player who has some problems. And so I think we all need structural solutions for all the challenges in the world, no matter if it's racism, if it's sexism, if it's homophobia, if it's our way we do business with each other, the way we have perceptions of the Eastern, Western, African continent, Asia. So I only believe in structural solutions, and that's the reason why we try to change structures like business, like the arts world, like the music world, and use these. But if we don't change the structures, it's only a little tip on the ice. So let's change all the structures, and we know actually what to do. I mean, we have all the solutions, we have all the technologies. We can look at these around, how many masterminds are here on this place. So we have the possibilities. We just have to get people motivated. And don't get me wrong, probably most of the people listening now to us, they are already part of the process. So we need the other people who are not listening, who are not in this Zoom, who are somewhere totally drunk on any Reeperbahn festival or something like that. That's where I love to preach a little bit.
So a 360 approach also to the Reeperbahn out there. Marcus, I also, let's say I stalked also your LinkedIn profile. It sounds a bit scary and a little bit weird, but I think you know what I'm talking about, because your startup also tackles these UN goals. And I read on LinkedIn, and I have to quote, that your network wants to, here we go, reduce barriers to entry for launching a social startup. So what kind of typical barriers have we to overcome, are there to overcome to get in the, let's say, social startup mindset and business?
I think a lot of the points are already mentioned. What Michael says, it's structural problems, and Katharina also mentioned it. It's not the true prices on the market. So when we see social and ecological costs are not counted. So at the moment, you have not the right financing, often not the right financing instruments. You have also impact investors here in this round, but we not only have to measure what is the profit, the financial profit of a startup, the financial revenue, but also the revenue for society and or ecological. And I think you could name it very simple. CO2, the Umweltbundesamt calculate a price of 200 euros. At the moment, we pay 25 euros per ton. And so the rest, we have these costs that are real costs coming in the future, and we handle it over to the next generation. And that is not creating value. That is a big problem. And that are the problems which are facing the social entrepreneurs, structural problems, which are linked to financing problems, systemic integration. That was also what Michael mean. A lot of new solutions are outside there, but at the moment we are focusing for solving problems mostly on the traditional structures, traditional thinking, and there we have to do something new. And that is what Andreas mentioned in the beginning. We are tapping in a new epoch, and how could we solve these organizations, these social startups, which are really working on the problems, that they're not focusing 100% of their time on fundraising and not solving these problems. The problems are too huge, and so we have to bring better framework, legal framework, financing instruments, and a better coordination in the next government. It's not only about talking, solving this problem, it's about really do it in a different way. And I think a lot of things are on the right way, but we are still on the beginning.
Do it in another way. Let's go back to this point. I mean, you all mentioned it. It's all about investment at the end to really create impact. You that's as easy as it is. You need money. So let's go to this point, invest for impact. That's the title of this event. So Kai, I did some research also on your LinkedIn profile, and I found this very interesting, let's say it's a real topic already, regenerative market economy. To be honest, I never heard about that. So I did a research, and it says that this means business models, and they target on companies and on the success of the companies of them who contribute positive development on people, society, and the natural ecosystem rather than exploiting it. That sounds very amazing, to be honest. Sounds like a great vision. But is it really, ready for an investment if you just use that as a business case?
Well, it's not less than that. It's really the big vision that you were talking about here. So when you mentioned this initiative, it's an association. So it's called Verein Regenerative Marktwirtschaft, as this is aiming at the German society and economy. And what we want to do here is to give a platform to those that are thinking all these little bits and pieces that are needed for the framework. By the way, Marcus, exactly. I just wanted to make the point like you. That's why I raised the hand. I love it. I love your statement. And if we want to build this and bring this together with those that want to act in politics, in media, in economy, which is super important. Germany is, especially German economy, not only them, but especially here in Germany, we have loads of very important medium-sized companies, the so-called Mittelstand, that don't know exactly where to go and how to go there. And we have handing over a lot of capital into new hands, of young hands, of people that want to do things differently. So in acting in the economy, in investing, in politics, in media, and in all the stakeholders in society. And that's what we bring together in this association. It's just starting. So I must say it's a big vision for a few people so far, but we have a lot of great feedback that we get there. So this is the platform that we want to do. And we want to give answers, short-term, mid-term, and long-term, what we can do and these different parts of our society. And one main point that I want to give is that any action counts, and please do not underestimate or do not oversimplify, but trust still in our possibility and our flexibility of managing the complexity of all of this. And that's why we can have these small steps that can have a big impact. And what we need to know, here's a platform with this initiative that we have the visibility of what works, right? And do step by step by best practice. And if sometime, some near future, Christian Lindner comes to us and says, hey, what are the best practices? What have you learned? I want to learn more. My party doesn't know a lot about this, but it seems very modern and digitalized and whatever is his claim. I would be happy to talk to him.
Yeah, getting back to one point you mentioned already, you said the German Mittelstand, and I think German Mittelstand is backbone of our economy right now. And if we want to change something, we need the big companies, and of course we need also the German Mittelstand to do something to put massive impact on topics. So Andreas, I saw that you are on a mission, on an interdisciplinary mission, and I want to ask you, is Germany, or let's say the DACH region, really a good field for interdisciplinary approaches? Or, I mean, since we all know this, let's say, issues of the big companies, the silo mindset, is it really working here, or is it, getting back to our initial part, I think it was Michael who said it, is it more a mindset issue than really, let's say, an idea or an innovation issue?
Yeah, it's a good point. I don't think it's a question of if that is the right environment. I think we have to say it has to be the right environment, because we only can solve the issues if we step out of the thinking of silos. At the moment, yes, you're completely right. In particular in Germany, we think government, civil society, private sector. And this is which won't work in the future. So if we really would like to tackle the issues, we have to bring the strength of all the different sectors together. So it's not a question if it works, it has to work. Maybe a few more words about also about the sectors and the roads, and bringing it together with the topic of the conference of financing. So if we really would like to finance the transition into an impact world, then we need also all three sectors. Let me start with one number, and you referred also to the SDGs. So if we really would like to solve the SDGs, we have a funding gap currently of roughly $4.5 billion annually. So that's huge. So if you hear that number, you can imagine that not only governments can solve that. Yes, we need governments, and they have to finance the transition. They have to finance impact. And in particular, with the tradition of a welfare state, like we're having it in Germany or in continental Europe, the government has a big role playing in that. But even more importantly, they have to pave the road for that. So we need regulatory change. We need subsidizes of specific areas. So this is what the state can do. So this is a role of the state. The other sector is the civil society. Civil society by no means has enough money, but civil society has specific strengths. So they have the most risky money that you can ever think of. So philanthropic money doesn't expect a financial return. So that means this money should be used to finance the most innovative approaches, because you can take the risk. This money should be used to finance the add-on, because I mean you can really also support individuals or approaches or target groups which are not covered by the broader approach. So this is what the role of philanthropy and civil society is. And then comes the private sector. So the private sector can finance the most financing gaps, because here we can build business models on that. And if we combine very smartly all three sectors, then yes, we can leverage each other. And coming back to your key question, yes, then we also can prove by financing together, by working together, that collective impact is the way.
Wow, that is like Angela Merkel did her speeches at the beginning of a year. That was amazing. That was just a 360 approach here. That was amazing. But I saw Katharina nodding her head when you said something. This is what a state can do. This is what our politics can do. And I also wondered, I mean, we have some, let's say, tax incentives for example, to improve e-mobility or something like that. Katharina, can you imagine that we can also have tax incentives for, let's say, social startup investments?
Yeah, first of all, I'm nodding my head because it's a transformative philanthropy. It's such a super exciting movement. For example, the Schöpflin Stiftung is really going forward with this. I really, really like. Yeah, and regarding the tax question, it's really to improve the financing of, yeah, okay.
It's working, yeah.
Yeah. To improve the financing of eco-social startups, we really need to provide and this tax incentives for private investors, and I really believe that we can make it. And for the investors which finance social and green startups. And another example in the coalition agreement, for example, is that they want to implement the one-stop shops. Markus, that could be interesting for the social and green startups as well. And they really, the Ampel wants to enable startups within 24 hours. So it sounds really great, but we will see how they will proceed.
Yeah, to be honest, when I see how our government handled the corona situation, I'm not sure if they can do it within 72 hours, but let us be surprised by them. Oliver, you also raised your hands.
Yeah, just one thing. I think as long as impact investing is a voluntary thing, it's good, but it's still voluntary. And the problem is that I think we have to change the rules in accounting, not just tax subsidies or stuff. Yeah, as long as you can externalize costs, so putting costs not in your balance sheet and then waste the environment or do something else, without being burdened, then yeah, that's the failure in the system at all. So if that wouldn't be possible anymore, then every investing would be impact investing. Yeah, that's what I'm. The problem is, I read one figure. If you calculate all the externalized costs, it's from every company in the world is more than the revenue from all the companies in the world. That's the big problem that we have. Yeah, so it's a real big problem, but we have to face it and we have to change accounting rules. That's my, because I worked for KPMG for a very long time, so I think I know what I'm talking about, but that's what we have to do.
So I see Marcus was doing the, I don't know, is it called it's applause sign, right? For the disabled people who can't hear, I think this is applause, right?
Applause,
yeah.
And completely agree, because that is a big problem. At the moment, a lot of the companies which make huge profit, if they look at a complete balance sheet, they do more harm to us as society, to the future generations, than what they pay on taxes. And that is the problem in the old system. We think about scaling, but not implementing the external, the costs which are externalized for society and environment. And if we think the future only in this way, and that is also very important for the investors which are part of this round, then we will scale problems and not the solutions. And when we look what we are facing in the future, we need a complete mind shift. So very, very, very big thank you, Oliver, for this statement, because it's very important, and impact investing have to become the new normal if we want to solve the problems in a real way. And very interesting for me, the World Economic Forum, also BlackRock, they all start. But I think the pioneers, the force which mean it really serious, they should tap more on the gas, because most people in the society want this change, and it's time now, not anywhere in the future, now.
Now is a good point, because I have a little look at the time, but Kai, you raised your hand, and I want a quick round at the end. Of course, if there's a question, we can maybe answer one or two questions, just to be the timekeeper right now. But Kai, first of all, it's up to you.
Okay, thanks. So I'll make it short. I do think that we can do a lot more even within the system that we have right now if we get rid of our biases, because we're looking at the past, and what has worked in the past we think will work in the future, and that's not true. So anyone who dares to step on a new path will prove to be successful. One example is female founders. I'm very much into the startup system, startup ecosystem, and most of the founders have been male in the past. Numbers prove that male founders are not better than female founders, the other way around, and still investments are a huge majority into male founders. Just one example. Another example how you can do really a big impact, and that investors have to look at, is that what I really want to give in the very end. One example of a startup. Some of you might know this. It's called Aqua Farms in Africa, and it's a very simple model. Give the means to the population, local population, to create their own value. What the founder Riata is doing there, she is franchising a system of farming to local female entrepreneurs, because they already do the work, but they do it in a very, very inefficient way, and give the means to those that are already doing it, that they know how to do it, they know how to work hard, and then things might nicely fall into place. So I'm very optimistic that those of us daring to step into new ways will also succeed economically.
So thank you very much for this statement at the end. And I have a look at our time. Are there any questions? Let's say one or two. We can handle one or two due to our, let's say, little We're a little bit delayed in our time. Are there questions? So at the end, I've got a question for my whole panel. So all panelists get up again. My last question is, let's do another tweet. I like tweets. So if you were to give just one advice to all the startups that are here right now, what would you suggest? Growth or sustainability? Let's start with Oliver.
Do you want to tweet for me or just say growth?
Yeah,
or
what do you
sustainability?
say? You can do a tweet. It's just a picture.
Okay.
You could just say if you were to give one advice to all them.
Let impact rule the world.
Let impact rule the world. All right. Yeah, here applause from Irene. Andreas, what would your advice be?
So first of all, growth and impact, so we can achieve both at the same time. And secondly, don't be afraid. I know that also in particular in this impact bubble, we are also making it a big thing and we are using terms which might also be frightening. It's not that complicated. Just get started. That's it.
That's it. So we still have Katharina. What would your advice be?
My advice would be degrowth first for the bad business, for the old economy, the economy of the past, and so sustainable growth for the impact startups.
Also very good advice. So we move on with Kai.
Well, I'd say dare to be completely open and to cooperate with anybody and share your ideas, and don't be afraid that someone else will steal them. Just go out there and talk about what you're doing and do it, and be happy when someone else does it as well.
This is a very good advice since we're here in a DACH room, and I think Gary and Roger, they're wondering, what are they talking about? I mean, that's totally normal in Silicon Valley and everywhere to share their thoughts and to grow together. It's just a German thing, I think. So,
yeah,
Marcus. Marcus.
Yeah, I think if you think in your theory of change and how you could scale your impact, that does not mean scaling your organization, scaling your revenues. If you take impact as your measurement, think about growth, and growth have to be the first priority for the impact, not only the revenue. That are two different stories. It could link together, but it don't have to be.
So thank you so much, and sorry for the interruption. That was my timer. So I said I walk the talk. I'm the timekeeper today. Yeah, I think that we're all. Have I forgotten someone? No, I think we're not. We're good. Or Andreas. Sorry, Andreas, right? Yes, Andreas?
No, I already said my tweet.
You said your tweet. Yeah, I started with you. Okay, so thank you so much for all your insights. And we also have one advice from our Tech World whole team. I mean, since we're all entrepreneurs here, we can tell you don't have ever a plan B, because if you have a plan B, you never put everything into it, and it needs everything to really put effort and impact on something. So never have a plan B. That was all. Thank you so much for this very, vividly discussion. It was very interesting, and I learned a lot of things. And I think, Georg, we can go back to our startup pitches, right?
Yes, and thank you very much for the moderation, and all the speakers, obviously.
Yes. Now it's again you, right, Yvonne, Sarah, Yvonne?
Yes. And
to do the second part of the pitch with the team together, right? So I will share the screen.
So yes, we are complete together again, and we now start with our next pitches. So I'm pretty sure many of you know the 72 hours rule, and this is not an extension of the rule we've learned as a child. What was on the floor less than 3 seconds may still be eaten. That is not the rule I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 72 hours rule, and that says the following: if you don't take action within 72 hours after you had an idea or thought, your chances to actually do it drop to less than 1%. That is a very small number. So getting started is often very, very hard. And our next startup wants to help here. I don't know if it takes 72 hours or longer, but I'm pretty sure they will pitch you their idea within 3 minutes. Here we go with 21 done.
Thank you. So let me share my screen. 1 second. Okay, should work fine, right? Yep. So I'm happy to be here today. I'm Thomas, CEO and founder of 21 Done, which could be your guide for personal growth with a social impact. People are striving for more purpose, as we heard also today. So let's introduce our persona, Lena. She wants to grow as a person. More specifically, she wants to be mindful. She wants to be fulfilled. She wants to be successful, creative, but also sustainable. Unfortunately, she often fails to achieve her goals due to a lack of motivation and time, lack of focus, lack of guidance, but also lack of easy access to diverse personal growth resources to support her personal growth. Currently, Lena visits tons of websites to access resources like podcasts, challenges, articles, quotes, coaches, activities, but also videos. Our solution enables Lena to solve these problems. First, she can identify and focus on a personal goal. Second, she can create a plan or journey with clear guidance. Third, access easily from the journey and our marketplace anytime, diverse personal growth resources. We aim for one more thing, as Lena would feel more motivated to act and purchase from companies when having a social impact. Every booking supports first a small local business, but also a charitable project. The solution will be profitable from 2025 on. After investing for some years, you see we'll be profitable in 2026, having acquired almost 500,000 customers. 6 reasons why we are confident about achieving this growth. First, we have a very scalable business model. Our basic revenue model is the commission model. Every time a user purchases a personal growth activity via our marketplace, we earn a commission. Next year, we will also offer a subscription model for B2C and B2B, so that users can also unlock premium features for $7.99. Second, we have very strong mission and brand. We empower individuals to grow as a person and have a social impact. Third, we have a strong USP compared to other competition. To pick one, we offer an easy, holistic access to most helpful resources for personal growth. Fourth, we address several mega trends and United Nations goals more than any competitor. Also, there is strong growth in the different markets in which we offer services, as indicated by the numbers and media statements. Fifth, we are prepared to scale our business on a wide geographic landscape. After validating our concepts and prototypes and acquiring some customers and partners within our beta version, we are ready to go live in January. 6, we have an awesome and diverse team. And finally, and now it's on you to get on board to fund our growth plan. Thanks a lot.
All right, 20 seconds longer, but I think it was interesting enough to hear. And everyone knows Lena. I think we all have Lena inside. I feel with Lena. So thank you very much for this presentation. And now it's up to the jury. Are there questions? Any questions from our jury?
I'm going to start then. So you mentioned that in the future there will be a B2B model as well. Who will be the B2B customer?
So the employees, which we want to support, who we want to regard as individuals and not only as employees. So currently some competitors support employees in their personal growth, or let's say employees growth, they focus on skills enhancement like leadership qualities, for example, but we see individuals or employees as individuals, supporting them to grow as a person, so more holistic. To be more mindful, for example, but also improve on their professional skills.
All right. I hope
this answers your question.
Yeah, I hope this answers the questions. The question, are there any other questions? Or I think you did a really great job, Thomas. So you can grab a beer and relax and watch all the others.
Sure.
So thank you so much. And I hand over to Annie.
Yeah, let's go to the next pitch. So think about your career prospects are changing. What happens when the next big job is in Germany? You'll accept it, of course, and you'll head on to good old Germany. And the next challenge is just lurking around the corner. There's a foreign country, a foreign culture, and this really complex and really difficult foreign language. And how do you learn it best in a pleasant atmosphere? Are you going to Volkshochschule, or is there maybe another way? The founders of Himidippi have asked themselves exactly these questions and will us explain how to do it. Welcome, Himidippi.
Thank you so much. And that was a wonderful way to introduce ourselves. And yeah, I will just start my, it's my screen. Okay, yeah. So this is Himadri from Himidippi, and I will be presenting with my colleague Dipti. And we exist to inspire integration through communication, and our vision is to open doors of new homes for expats, particularly women, this striving towards SDG 5 and 8. 11.4 million foreigners reside and work in Germany, and half of them are women, marking it as a top expat destination. However, the country's settling in rank is quite low, giving expats the feeling, is Germany home? Take me, for example. As a female immigrant, I hope that move to a developed country would be towards advancements, but I face similar problems as given by our users. I was lost in academic navigations, struggled with career roadmaps, and hence thought of tackling this issue. As seen in data, many Indians chose to leave the country owing to the problem of settling in. The problem becomes graver when it comes to women. Example, struggle with career, raising children, etc. In our user survey, the cause is linked to 3 key issues. Women lack the social support, scattered learning resources, course timing and pricing. Germany's workforce shortages can be narrowed via involvement of expats, especially women. And Himidippi is engaging in becoming a part of this solution. We have 2-pronged approach, digital learning, and an app platform helping users in enhancing German communication, connecting with peers, thereby improving integration.
So considering our go-to market of European German learners, the total available market is projected at 2.6 billion euros in 2027, and globally for foreign languages, 20 billion euros. We are a B2C model with pricing based on course and app fees. Until Q3 2021, we achieved 3x revenue growth with 189 customers. With 45% women and 9x growth in client numbers, we have over 41% of repeating clients. And we are happy to see reviews which show that entire families are enjoying Himidippi. We are one among the 17 selected startups for the German Accelerator program. Right now, our client acquisition is through word of mouth, referrals, social media ads, and good reviews. For our targeted growth, we need tech expansion, B2B collaborations, and regional expansion. Our unique channel for growth would be reaching out to more women and diverse groups, example, universities. And our USP is structured communication, women-focused networking, and integration. In 5 years, market penetration is estimated at 1% of the total market. And in our expansion in Europe and India, we are targeting 21 million euros in revenue and a break even in 4 years. With our one-stop platform, we get an edge over our competitors. Our women-focused networking and communication solutions makes us an early mover in the market. So we are a team with competencies in language, business, and tech. And thank you very much. We are scaling up and looking for funding and team currently.
So thank you really, really much to Himidippi. Are there any questions from the jury?
Yeah, hello, this is Anna from Bonventure. Thanks for your presentation. I have a question regarding your product. or regarding the problem, you said two things: that people don't get to know each other, plus that they don't have the financial resources. And as far as understood, the app, the end user has to pay for the app. Plus, is it only digital? So how do you tackle those problems that you mentioned at the beginning?
Hi, Anna. Thanks for the question, first of all. So our approach, the problem, first of all, the problem is that people are coming here. They are also willing to learn the language, but because there are so many language schools, and sometimes it is such an expensive option to pay for so many courses and learn the language where you do not also feel competent enough to communicate well after the course has ended. So what we have designed, we have taken a two-pronged approach, and one approach is already in the place. It's already outside in the market since 1 year. So we have live courses and digital and on-demand digital courses, which are pre-recorded courses. So we have kept our courses very interactive. They are very experiential-based courses. Although they are online, we have made courses in such a way that the professional component is always an integral part of all the courses, thereby equipping themselves to express confidently at workspace. So that is one thing that we are doing. Secondly is that we have parallelly events going on, which are done by experts who enlighten on one of the topics that are very crucial to integrate here in German culture. For example, talking about German school system. And when people are here, they are actually lost about so many cultural and social topics that they feel really benefited from these kind of events. In our app, we are trying to foster communication, because mostly the female expats, and also I will say male expats, but the female expats, because their access to German society is a bit limited and constrained. So they want a communication partner to interact with when they have learned German, and that access they are not getting. So through the app, we will be connecting one person to another person, and especially for women, it would be a safer space, because they want to, first of all, connect with more women and talk more at more, in a more convenient space with them. So there it is different from other agencies, because they do not have to bring anything in exchange. They do not have to do a tandem partnership where you have to bring one language from yourself. They are two language learners, German language learners, and we have provided, or we are just building that structured communication there so that they can interact with each other and feel their communication skills enhanced by that. And in our third part, we are still working on that. That will be the networking, where women could connect to each other and do the knowledge exchange, which is already happening on many platforms, but it is not structured and they're not feeling safe enough to be there. For example, Facebook, like we have done in our slide. So that we are doing as well, so that they feel safe and confident about expressing themselves.
Okay, thank you so much for this extended answer. Are there any quick questions and brief answers right now, because the time is running?
I just have a quick question about the connecting through your app with others. So how is that done? Is that something that you make recommendations based on people's profiles, or I'm just trying to better understand the community building around your app?
Yeah, so the app will be rolled out, hopefully the basic version of it in next year, February. And what we are currently aiming to do with it is that based on your common interests and based on your level of language, we will be connecting people, and they will be able to choose from various topics there on what they want to have their practice session for around half an hour, 45 minutes, and they will get some kind of structured inputs as to how they can go about with their communication, and they would be able to communicate. So this is on the communication aspect. And on the other aspect of community building and networking, we are still kind of working to make the idea concrete.
Okay, thank you so much, Himidipi.
Thank you.
So it's time for the next pitch,
yes,
right?
It is. So love is all you need. If it only were that simple, right? Often love is not enough after the first butterflies moved out and everyday life with open toothpaste tubes and socks lying everywhere moves in. We all know that. So this is even scientifically proven because the hormone you have heard about maybe called oxytocin, it's the cuddle hormone. It decreases in long-term relationships. It really does. So not only sex, but also the biochemistry of our own bodies are getting in the way of happy and long-term lasting relationships. Before we're facing all the broken pieces of our love, that's dramatic, isn't it? But it is. I mean, we're talking
I need to take
about
a shower
love.
now.
It is. But wouldn't it be clever to have something that determines if our relationship needs a little more extra care and attention? So maybe Loveline has a solution for that. It's time for your pitch.
Thank
Are you ready?
Yes, I need to share the screen, but I feel like this was a very good introduction already. Wow, so thanks for that. Let me see. Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes, time is running.
Okay, perfect. So during COVID, you've probably noticed how important romantic relationships are, either as a single or as a couple spending 24/7 together. Relationships are so important, they can significantly impact our mental health, but we're actually really bad at leading relationships, like really bad. Over 40% of married couples get a divorce, and in Luxembourg, it's even 88%. So why are we actually so bad? Well, we never learned how to lead healthy relationships, and we're not getting the help we need when we actually run into problems. Relationships are the forgotten foundation of mental health and well-being. Enter Loveline. Loveline helps couples lead better relationships, but in a fun way. So how does it work? This is Lulu. Lulu is your Tamagotchi of love. And she can be happy, sad, playful, and a lot of different moods. And she's your early warning system that helps you understand how your relationship is doing and what you can actually do better. You can find new inspiration for your relationship in our app, date ideas, articles, or writing love notes to each other. You can get better at being a partner with our micro-learning courses. And you can find quick help through chat with a coach. So at the core, we're actually building a relationship care app for couples. So a monthly subscription and additional fees for booking coaches via chat or consultations. And we're starting with most stress groups like parents and mindful couples. We're also adding partners that can market their product on our app to couples and using affiliate fees for that. Our vision is to create a platform for all relationship topics, including coaches that can actually share the content and build communities on our platform. As you can imagine, our market is pretty big. So only starting with German-speaking countries, we have a market potential of 12 million people and 668 million euros. And this is just the beginning. So wider Europe, US, Canada would be 3.6 billion. And this doesn't even include revenue from coaches and partners yet. We started in April, validated problem solution fit and user acquisition cost, and launched the first MVP. And so far, we've gathered extensive user feedback, which has been super positive, with 70% of couples or unhappy couples wanting to use our app. Next year, we'll launch our official stores and start all our marketing channels, starting with paid and app store optimization. We are Loveline, Mirko building our entire app, Rico, our relationship expert, and myself, having built 2 coaching products. So we're just at the beginning of relationship care, like self-care was 5 years ago. Come join us and create more happy couples.
Thank you, Loveline. Any questions concerning Lulu?
Hey, thank you very much for the great pitch. I have a question regarding the user engagement. How do you keep that high over time? Probably you want to keep the people also when they are switching from one relationship to the other. Is there any plan to that? And also, how do you get them on the platform in the first place other than working with partners?
So maybe the first question, so how do we keep them engaged and user attention, basically? So we really thought about this a lot, and that's why our positioning is clearly not as a couples therapy app, which we actually started with. So that's why we're more positioned as an inspiration app, to be there for, even if everything's good and you just need an inspiration of what can we do tonight. And that's where including really lighter things like date ideas and present ideas, but also things that help you get deeper, such as articles, but courses, and also chat with the therapy. So we try to cover the entire relationship life cycle, starting with inspiration, starting with something very positive. So that's on the retention side. How do we actually get couples in? So we actually did different tests with landing pages to really understand, and ads to really understand what could be the user acquisition cost. And there we saw that actually paid ads work very well if we position it as inspiration versus couples therapy and problem oriented, and reached a download cost of €2.90. So it's very promising already. But in parallel to that, we're starting to build our organic channels. And we did some SEO analysis, and there's a lot of long tail keywords, which we could also address, which are more on the pain side, of course. So in addition to that, we will work with our affiliate partners so that they can also spread like the word, and also associations aiming at like parents, for example, Instagram influencers. So there's a lot going beyond the initial steps that we have planned, actually.
Thank you very much.
Okay. One more question? Still have time.
Thanks for the pitch. I also have two questions. The first one, you talk now just about like couples as relationships. Is it also adaptable to friendships, for example, which are also another kind of relationships? And the second question would be, how do you really measure your success in the end if your product really helped the couples?
So first thing, we're starting with romantic relationships, and then we will actually see where the strongest like other users are, because we've also received very positive feedback from B2B for work relationships. So that could be another aspect. And also like people in our user interviews that said this could be awesome for my teenage kid. And so parent-kid relationships. So I think there's a lot to tap into in terms of relationships for sure. So we'll see once we're further on with the product and do more user interviews and other target groups. So that definitely is an option with the current product already. So it's just about switching the content actually in that case. So it's quite scalable for those topics. And then the second question was again, sorry.
How do you measure your success?
Oh yeah, measure our success. So we're actually working with the University of Potsdam to start building, effectiveness measurement. So we're just at the beginning of that, so we don't have a specific answer yet, but we're based on EFT, so emotionally focused therapy, which is a very measurable way of couples therapy. And actually, there's a lot of studies that shows that it is the most successful way for couples therapy. So that is already a good basis to make it very measurable, but we haven't defined that yet. That's something we're going to do next year with the University of Potsdam.
Okay, thank you so much. Caroline, you have one more question?
Yes, thank you. Just a quick question, just to get my head around it and get it right. You're actually creating most of the content yourself, right? Or are you also, because you mentioned articles and it'll be a platform, what's sort of the ratio between what you're creating yourself in terms of content and what you're reusing from external? And maybe you can give us just a little bit of an insight on the team. That slide went really fast. Basically, who's creating the content?
Yes, so actually the team is bigger than what we showed. Currently, we're creating all the content ourselves, plus, so we have a couple of interns, plus actually we have some couples therapists, so other therapists that are not on the slide that are supporting us as well, because they want to position themselves early online. Because we saw with COVID, a lot of couple therapists want to build their online presence, so they see this as a very good opportunity. So we'll start actually really focusing on our own content to ensure the high quality. And then once we have a good basis of that, we will then see if we want to, become more of a marketplace, basically, where therapists can post their content, but we really want to start with our own content to make sure the quality is very good.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we're moving on right to the next pitch.
Okay, so if you think about more than 85 million people on Earth have to use a wheelchair, and lots of them are dependent on an electrical wheelchair. What are you doing if you're not able to move it by yourself anymore? Sure, you can ask somebody for help, but the human nature is concerned to be as independent and self-sufficient as possible. So in a highly technologized world with AI, it should be possible to help exactly here. Monevo has taken advantage of this problem and will tell us now how it works. Hi, Monevo.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm gonna start sharing my screen. All right, I hope it works. So hi, everyone. Thank you for the very nice introduction. Happy to see so many familiar faces and to have that like collective energy in this call right now. This really motivates me, and happy to share more about Monevo, an assistive technology company that is using smart glasses to enable people in their independent mobility and living. I want to start with a short story about Dirk, whom we met during our clinical trial in 2018. He was working for a big corporate, traveling the world, and until he got diagnosed with his disease called multiple sclerosis. So in some cases of the disease, people have to depend on a wheelchair. And in some more cases, unfortunately, Dirk will not be able to control his wheelchair anymore using a standard joystick of a power wheelchair, but he has to depend on solutions such as you can see here. And I think it's pretty clear that the solutions are very mechanical, they're old, they're very hard to adapt, and actually they're limiting instead of enabling the people. And we developed Monevo Drive. Monevo Drive is the first digital solution that is using smart glasses, and we make use of the different features of the smart glasses. And most importantly, the smart glasses come with movement sensors such as gyroscope or accelerometers, which we can then use to track the different head motion of the user and then allow the user to drive a wheelchair hands-free. We can connect the smart glass via an adapter to any standard power wheelchair within minutes instead of hours. And the solution right now is already a certified medical device according to the new regulatory requirements, and is also receiving right now 100% reimbursement in Germany and 4 other European countries. We currently also developed the solution much further. It has become an independent living platform because we can not only connect to the wheelchair, we can already connect to robotic arms and help people drink or eat. We can connect to their phone in order to enable them to communicate, and most importantly, to their home environment so that they can turn on the lights, the TV, and all of these other things. Our business model is quite simple. We have a B2B direct sales model that is done through medical distributors or wheelchair manufacturers. And additionally to that, our add-ons come at additional cost, but are pure software add-ons. And we have seen also the flexibility in the business model where people would actually buy the add-ons by themselves and not wait for the insurance to pay for it. The market is actually quite huge. So we have a top-down market when we look at the global power wheelchair market. But actually we come bottom up and we define the market by the different diseases such as ALS, tetraplegia, or multiple sclerosis, and kind of create a whole new market around it. And we don't want to stop there. So our growth vision is actually to go into a new vertical, which is the home healthcare market, and enable also elderly people to become more independent in their living. We have a team full of engineers, but also therapists, wheelchair users as well, and we're supported by medical experts. And right now we're actually looking for 2.5 million euro to expand to the US and expand our work in the different SDGs. And we have already equipped 100 users with our solution, and we hope to equip even more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Claudio. Are there any questions from the jury for Munevo? Quick questions, quick answers.
Yeah, hello, Claudio. This is Anna from Bonventure. One question regarding your go-to-market approach. So how do you tackle that, and what's your current revenue?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So currently we go to market via the medical stores. In Germany, there are over 2,000. This is our first revenue stream. And the second one is through wheelchair manufacturers, where we integrate our solution on the purchase order forms, where the medical stores basically would then purchase a wheelchair already with our solution equipped to it. Currently, we're tripling our revenues from last year. We are in total above 1 million in total revenues. Our first year on the market was 2019.
Sorry, can you repeat that? What's the revenue is?
So we are in total above 1 million. This
1
year,
million.
we're currently having monthly revenues between 50 to 100,000 euros.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Jasper.
Yes, Claudio, good to see you again.
Hi,
thank
Jasper.
you very much I've been following you for the last 3 years. It's amazing. I actually had a question about your essentially advancements of your product line. Yeah, congrats on that. And I just wanted to add that not only since Höhle der Löwen, where you had the wheelchair startup from Switzerland, I would definitely go for one of the big lions to fill you around. And yeah, let's definitely catch up, and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasper.
Any more questions?
I would have a last one, actually. I think it's great what you're doing. And just knowing Germany and the healthcare system, I know that these things are being paid for, as you said, but how is it in other countries? Is that actually similar to Germany, and is it as easy to get that refunded?
It's a really good question. I have to say it's not that easy, unfortunately. But what we achieved so far is amazing by having it already reimbursed in Switzerland, Austria, Germany, the Netherlands, France, and also Norway. And we basically, our success derives from the fact that we try to incorporate all the different stakeholders in the beginning. So if you look at the UK, it's a centralized system with the NHS. In the US, it's completely different, where we also will launch in a different way in the beginning. But by incorporating all the foundations, the clinics, the therapists into the process of going to market, it enables us to get faster results and faster successes when it gets to reimbursement. And we also usually it will take you 6 to 12 months to get a reimbursement. Our current average reimbursement time is around 3 to 4 months, which is really fast.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're heading over to the last pitch of today.
Yes, the last one. So social networking has overtaken our lives, not only in the private field with TikTok and Instagram, but also in the business context. Imagine this: every minute, 4 people are hired through web-based networks. Isn't that crazy? Business communication platforms playing an increasingly important role. LinkedIn has gained about 1 million new users in the DACH region just during the last 6 months. So, but how about online spaces for sharing profound, specific business topics? Is what the markets offer today already enough for the challenges in the future? I think we should hand over this question to our last pitch. Talentino, hello, welcome. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, you are. Okay, so it's your pitch.
Thank you. I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
Does it work?
It does. So time's running.
Perfect. Hi everyone, I'm Alex and I'm very happy to introduce Talentine to you. Talentine is not about one, but about all the big problems of our society. Of course, we don't solve them all, but we give those who dare to solve them something they desperately need. Because around complex issues, one thing is needed above all: cooperation. But we lack digital spaces that are suitable for this. Look at major news platforms or social media. They jump from breaking news to breaking news, often egocentric and even destructive. That's why with Talentine, we build a new kind of platform to engage an audience. We create space to inspire impact. We do that with video on demand, digital live events, and serious games, all on one platform. Talentine is a freemium and subscription-based business model and a three-sided platform. We bring together creators, producing content around issues they care about, organizations presenting themselves, and users 18 to 45 years old with higher education, looking for inspiration and like-minded people. The average annual revenue is 5,400 euros per paying organization and 74 euros per paying user. If you take our first market alone, Germany, Switzerland, and Austria, we're already looking at a market potential of 1.8 billion euros. We reach people mainly through network effects. We convince big organizations and creators with an existing audience to use the platform and then leverage their reach to grow. We have launched our first MVP in June 2020 and have worked with more than 200 organizations and over 100,000 users since. We've generated over 500,000 euros in revenue so far. And in 5 years, we are aiming for 49 million euros in revenue and a gross profit margin of 75%. Like any other startup, we need at least these three things to move on. Now, we already have a great team to start with, 4 founders with perfectly matching skill sets and 20 more fantastic people in our team. We also have a solid strategy how to move on, using design sprints to develop the next platform version and extending the collaboration with organizations and established creators. Right now, we're looking for seed funding and partners who share our vision to bring speed to the matter. There is a chance here to create a completely new kind of media and content platform, where the ego of the individual is not in the foreground, but the shared experience and the joint impact. So let's build a platform where we are collecting fellows, not followers. If you like to get in touch, I look forward to an email or just look me up on LinkedIn. Thank you very much.
Just in time. Wow. Yeah. There's a 3-minute call. Thank you, Alexander. Are there any questions? Jasper, I see you raising your hand. Is that right? No.
Yes, sorry. I'm always, thank you very much. Quite impressive that you're already doing revenues. I'm always struggling the more aspects you add to platform. And I just read 1, 2, but 3-sided platform. How have you managed to keep the balance between obviously organizations presenting themselves and obviously B2C? And what is the idea to scale and where to focus on? That would be very interesting for us to understand.
Yes. So as we're talking about complex issues and complex topics, I guess a platform and a solution has to be kind of complex and has to needs those different influences and those different perspectives. That's why we try to combine them on one platform. At the beginning, we're focusing on the organizations and on HR simply because there's our network and this is where we are coming from. So this is our first focus. But we feel and we see that a lot of creators and a lot of talents and a lot of young people are looking for new possibilities and new opportunities and new digital spaces to actually connect not only to possible employers, but to like-minded spirits, to like-minded people, to communities, to other people who share the same goals, share the same purpose. And that's why we started to combine those different perspectives on the same platform and yeah, going from there.
Okay, thanks a lot. So we have time for one more question. Do you see one more question? Oh, no?
Everyone is hungry, I think.
Yeah, I think me too.
Everyone
hear
is
it
hungry
gladly.
and everyone is waiting for the winners.
Yeah, we all do. So I'm handing over to Georg, I guess.
Yeah, thank you very much for this wonderful moderation. Thank you very much for the last pitches we heard again. So 11, I think if I counted correctly, no, it's 10, right? 10 amazing pitches we heard today. We had 7 or 6 amazing speakers and so much input, so many impulses and positive energy in this room. So before we announce the winners, let's maybe, I know that's difficult on Zoom because everyone is muted and people do like this, but let's try to have some group applause together, right? Okay, for everyone that took part in this session here, be it a mentor, be it a jury member, startup, moderators. So
let's wait, I will take a picture.
Oh yeah, okay, keep on moving. So it's a little bit movement the last 3 hours, right? We are all sitting down, it's good. Are you done?
No, not yet, because I have to take the second round.
Ah, okay, right, you're more than...
You all look amazing.
Yeah, and thanks a lot also for the timekeeping. I think it's really good that we now have coming to this end, and we managed to manage the time, right? I'm just realizing it's a long evening already. Irene.
Okay.
Maybe one last reminder. I'm not sure, but that has every jury member voted for their startups, or let's say voted for all the startups, and then your favorites? Yeah. Okay, I see some thumbs up. That's very nice. Irene, I think let's let you announce the winner, right?
No, before we announce the winners, we first have the results of our Mentipedia survey. Hey, just a second, I'll share my screen with you. So let's have a look.
Oh, what a wonderful word cloud,
those are the results. Equality, change, sustainability. The question was mission hashtag invest for impact. What does impact mean? Positive change, make a difference, responsibility, equitability, the future, innovation, serious impact, mission. I don't know, so many positive aspects, right? Solutions for the futures. Do not be evil. I like that. Positive contribution, survive with no regulars. Good one. Real changes. Yes, it's all about real impact. And of course, long-term thinking. I think back of our panel discussion, totally true. Circulation, improving society. Yes, let's make an impact and change the world for a better place. Transformation. Thank you so much for your input.
I think we can actually share this on LinkedIn also tomorrow, and
yes,
together with the hashtag Invest for Impact to see and to share all these.
Exactly. I have so much to share. I took some pictures in between. Then we have our panel discussion. So much to share. I think I'll be occupied for the next 2 weeks.
Amazing. And maybe one more aspect, even though we had like a long panel session talking about what does impact mean. So just to clarify the hashtag again, right? Invest for impact doesn't only mean that we need investments from investors or anyone else for impact startup, but also that we all think about our own role in our society, in our lives, and how we each other of us can invest, be it time, be it anything else, in order to create a positive impact. So this is the whole idea of our event, and I think we all made a good job together, hopefully to put this on the table. And Irene, are we ready to announce the winners right now?
Yes, definitely. So
we will obviously start with place number 3, right?
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy. You were all fantastic, of course, right? But we have to announce the winners just because we have the prizes from More Than Digital. There's no other reason why we're doing this, okay? So I'll start with the third place. Please give it a big warm applause for Munevo!
Yay!
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
Congrats,
Excited, super
Claudio.
excited.
Yeah, fantastic. So now let's move on to the second place. Why am I supposed to do this? Okay. Second place is Love Lane.
Thank you.
All about love, right?
Yes. I'm happy everyone sees this as a topic. Thanks.
So, Marie, before I move on, you said at the beginning that the winners will be participating on the Impact Tech European finals, right?
Yes, on the 3rd of February.
Yes. And you don't have to say yes right now, but I'm urgently begging you, such amazing startup. Could we take all the 3 of them to the European finals? Is there any possibility?
We will consider it with our team.
Okay.
Today's startups were amazing.
Let's talk about it tomorrow, okay, Mary?
Okay.
But no pressure, Mary, no pressure.
No pressure. That's why I'm using the opportunity right now.
We are just asking, right? Oh, there are other people in the room we didn't know about. Perfect.
Okay, so the first place goes to Africa Gintech.
Congratulations.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Congratulations to everyone.
I'm not Enzo who made the pitch, but in regards, thank you so much. He had to leave already, but we are so happy.
Yeah, yes. Congrats. Well deserved.
Yeah, thank you so much to everyone who made this event possible. First and foremost, of course, to Georg, my sparings partner, then to our Corporation Network partners, to our wonderful host, Tech Well Told, fantastic job, our jury members, our mentors, our speakers. Did I forget anyone?
You forget yourself. So thank you very much, Irene, because at the end of the day, without you, this would not have happened. So thank you very much for not just inviting me and a strategic partner, but everyone else in this room, jury members and mentors. So thank you very much. And I'm really looking forward to everything that will follow up in the next year. We have some plans, right? We're not sharing yet, but we have some great plans. And yeah.
And thank you also to Marie and Startup Network, my partners in crime. And of course, as you can remember, the last time we had #25to25, the female founder pitch, this time the social impact pitch. And of course, another great topic is also waiting for us. And is she there? I'm looking at Julia Kisik. I have an eye on you. You can imagine what I'm talking about, but we will get back to you with the next major topic we'll be tackling as a special edition of the Unicorn Pitch Battle, Unicorn Cup, of course. And then
that's great.
Fantastic. The wonderful ladies from Tech Well Told have something to announce.
Yeah, I think there's a little after party right now. If we were informed right, but Irene, I think this is something you should tell the people, right?
Okay, I'll try. So we thought about making an after show before Christmas, maybe coming together, also celebrating all together and having, again, another little panel discussion. And you're all warmly invited. Would be happy to see you there again to do some reflection thing. And Tech Well Told will also do some wonderful videos. And we will want to sum up the events, and everyone who's willing to give us a statement considering the event, please feel free to contact us or to contact Tech Well Told. Have a wonderful evening and thank you so much. And Georg, do you want to have the last word?
No, I don't. No, there's nothing to add. Thank you so much for everyone, and stronger together, invest for impact. Let's have a positive impact to the world. Thank you and goodbye.
Great evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. So, Gail, bist du noch da? Ach so. Yeah, thank you so much, Mary. Ja, wir gehen dann gleich in den anderen Raum noch. Yes.
Sorry?
Did you like the event?
It's
I
still
like
recording.
it, really. I like it.
It's still recording.